Not really, because the sun was there, so like we can't do more like that. A little bit better.
All right, Shalom,
Shalom,
Shalom.
shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Lakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone, Shalom to the Akim of the hopeful elect, man, the chosen. Peace to the gods. You know, the apostle elder to us says, peace to the gods. Because we are gods, man. Let's kick it off with that.
Okay,
because we're coming into that time now, man. The Lord's going to reveal who his true men are. We're coming into that hour, man. We're coming to the hour of temptation, the hour of Jacob's trouble, martial law. We're also coming to the hour where the Lord's going to reveal who his elect is, man. It said, then it shall be revealed who are my chosen. Because Esau's touting his MOT to the B. Harder than ever, man. You got just had an advert for the iPhone 14. I don't know if you've seen it, where they got Qualcomm satellite technology linked with the phone. So even if your phone goes out of transmission anywhere on the planet, the satellites can pick you up. Why are they doing that? Because they're pushing that track and trace technology, man.
That's because that's one of the things with Elon Musk is Starlink, right? One of the things that he said not too long ago was basically he's going on about full coverage of the entire Earth.
There you go.
Right. So because even now these Iran protests, which goes to show that Gaza shill, right? U.S. Secretary General Blinken, right? He basically gave Musk the authority to go and send his satellites over Iran, right? So that the Iranian citizens can have access to the internet again.
What's that spy movie? Samuel Jackson and
Kingsman.
Kingsman, the first one. What did Samuel's character do at the end? He asked man for permission to use their satellites so he can transmit the global terror. So this shows you that there's a hierarchy of devils, man, and then they're part of the whole hierarchy of devils, man. And they're going to try and do this new world order thing. That satellite thing is very big and powerful because they're going to be transmitting through that 5G, 6G. China's already got the 6G up and running, I think. You know, so where the Western world's really behind China, man, when it comes to that technology. They're really technology advanced. And look at all the hell that's going on over there in China in the moment. People getting quarantined and all that martial law and shit.
It's like a test bed.
Yeah, it's a test bed for the new world order. So that's going to be a hotbed. And even I remember one video I did where they was basically counting, there was a cameras facing the middle of the street and it was numbering people's heads. Had numbers on people's heads and it was counting the people. And now they got all this facial recognition shit coming out.
One of the things they did over the CV period, right? They trained those cameras to be able to see behind the mask. Right. So now if you got an iPhone and you use Apple, Face Unlock or Face ID, I think they call it. It can now do Face ID even if you've got a mask on, which was going to show you what that was all about, man.
Track and trace, man. Counting the population, man.
That's it.
Population control, as they call it.
That's it.
That herd mentality. And even at the carnival, I watched one video. You just watch the playbacks of certain vids. I watched one video and the police was standing on the stand and he had the camera and he was doing this back and forth. And he had 2 million people walking past that camera, so to speak. 2 million people turn up to the carnival. But people are none the wiser that camera is probably just counting, like taking the pictures of their faces, man. It's like facial recognition technology. So that's why they had that carnival. So the police
can training.
So now they're training the cameras to pick up on people's images, and basically do some minority report type shit. Pre crimes and all that shit. They're gonna be locking down on the people harder than ever, man. That's why they got Europe's not known as the camera Big Brother city, especially London, known as Big Brother city, man, because they got the most cameras in fucking Europe, man. Why is that? Because they want to track and trace everyone, man. They want to monitor everything you're doing. And that's where the CHIP comes in. Because that's going to be the ultimate monitor. They're going to be monitoring your health conditions, everything, man. What you're spending your money on, what you're looking on the internet, who you're talking to. All of that, man. It's all about control.
Hey, Salaki, but even, because you said that, because one of the things they tried to push as well, and I was thinking that it was all linked to this whole social credit score, but they were trying to push basically to access them adult entertainment websites. To access them adult entertainment websites, you need to basically provide ID, credit card information. I was like, oh shit, that's all to do with that whole what's this thing called, man? Social credit scores. Because it's like, oh, you've been watching too much of that. You're gonna lower your credit score and all of this sort of stuff, right? So ban you. You watch a film that's got, like, let's say it's anti-government film, or you watch that film we're gonna, knock your points down.
That's definitely going into the whole thing, because with the chip, they can turn your shit on and off.
Yeah.
And they can also stop you from getting access to certain things.
Yeah.
Like you try and walk through into a store, they might recognize you facially or your ID through your ID and know that you've done certain crimes or whatever, and say you're not allowed to access this certain item, or you're not allowed to access this building or something like that. You're restricted. You're gonna have major restrictions with that chip when they introduce that chip, man. It's not just gonna be anywhere you can just go anywhere and do anything. You're gonna have major restrictions, but it's gonna be the new form of buying and selling. That's why everything's going biometric, everything's going cashless.
Yeah.
These goyim out here, they don't even know what the fuck's going on. They're none the wiser, but they're gonna be entangled in it. Because you're pushing an iPhone 14, and niggas love iPhones.
Yeah.
They're gonna get the new iPhone, the Pro Max, because it's just the new technology, man. So when they bring out the chip and say, yeah, you don't need a phone, you don't need a smartphone no more. This chip is your smartphone. You can make virtual calls and all this other advanced shit. They're gonna jump on it, man. They're gonna get the fucking, the contract. When you get the 6-month contract, niggas gonna jump on that, man, because they're goyim, man. They're sheeple. Go ahead. Yeah, but back to the first point. The scripture says that we are gods. We're coming to that time. The Lord's going to expose who his elect are, man. Because we're coming down to that eye, that pinnacle time of judgment, man. You see what's happening when the Lord's pouring out mad judgment on the earth right now. Mexico got hit up with a 7.8 earth. Puerto Rico's around the flood, Fiona. The Lord hit them with a as well. It's judging tribes right now. The kingdom, simple as, especially, man, which that started in the Northern Kingdom. Tribes headed by Ephraim. They're the simplest out of all the tribes, man. Foolish, going on to love this white man. They think that they're white, man. The Dominican talking about the new color. Their color's not black. They're acting like they're white, man. Don't call them black and the Dominican, all that, Simeon and all that. So these niggas are going off. So the Lord's bringing terrible judgment upon the tribes, man. Didn't he say he's going to start the house of Israel? Yeah. So that's what the Lord's doing, and it's going to get more expand. The Lord's going to expand, man, with that judgment, man. He's going to hit everyone up soon.
Yeah, man.
Said too much, innit?
Yeah, do you know what it is? Because I was trying to, and then now I'm forgetting where certain precepts. So I was trying to get the one Ephraim joined on to idols.
Yeah, I think I'll find out.
That's I know it's in Hosea somewhere.
Yeah, Hosea 6 or 3.
Because it's true what the brother was saying, man. Our people, right? Are all up in these in these groves and these different things going the hell off, man. Right? And the Lord said He's going to visit us, man. Right? Visit the wicked of our people, rather. Where is that? Yeah, man. These bodies, man.
Hosea 4:17.
4:17. Hosea 4:17. Yeah. Right? Says Ephraim. I'll start from 15. Yeah. Says, though thou Israel play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up to Beth Avan, nor swear the Lord liveth. For Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer.
Israel is talking about the northern kingdom, headed by the tribe of Ephraim, so-called Puerto Ricans today. That's why the Lord hit them with a hurricane and then a flood.
Yeah.
Double judgment, double portion of judgment, because the Lord's not playing with the tribes, man. You niggas out here worshiping the white man like he's your God. That's pissing the Lord off, man. You come out of that slave man. Like, if anyone got the ultimate slave mentality, it's the northern kingdom, man. I know Judah's going the hell off. They got the slave mentality too, but them northern kingdom tribes, man, they don't even understand that they come from people of color, man. They think that they're straight up Spanish, man. But I don't understand that those Spanish people conquered you, man, and gave you that damn Spanish language as a form of slavery, man. That's not your original tongue. You weren't speaking no damn Spanish when you was over there in the West, in the land of America, when them devils came over there and conquered you. You were speaking Hebrew, man, and them devils knew that. Look, Luis de Torres was one of the Hebrew interpreters with Cristobal Colon, or Cristobal Bologna, as I call him, man.
Yeah.
Cristobal Columbus, as they call him. That devil had Hebrew interpreters when he went over to the New World. Why? Because he knew he was going to conquer, man. He read the book of Ezra, man.
Yep.
He read that the 10 tribes was over there in the land of America, inhabiting that land. The so-called Native Americans, the indigenous tribes that was, the Latinos and all that was over there. They was over there before the so-called Europeans came over and conquered them. Why? Because it's according to biblical prophecy.
Could you find Israel, Abu Bakr, because you mentioned about Israel being a slave? Is Israel a slave?
Jeremiah 2.
It says 2, yeah. Yeah, so let me finish that. It says verse 18, right? It says, okay, no, 16 against Lot. It says, but Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Right? And that's true, man. You know, they got the pictures of Chesre all up in the cut. Right? You go up into their yard, they got pictures of Chesre and this, that, and the other.
All that.
Right? All of that, man.
The RCC, they're the heads of that, man. They worship that shit they worship Mary. They talk about Queen, you know, the Queen of Heaven worship. They worship
Santa Maria.
Santa Maria and Santa Marta. You know, in Mexico, they Santa Marta, Holy Death. And they have all kind of parades and shit. Worshiping, you know, the enemy, man. Worshiping death and all. That's why the Lord's pouring out judgment on them niggas, man.
Bringing that death.
Exactly.
And that's it, man. Yeah, you reap what you sow, man.
You reap what you sow, man. Yeah, that's what the scriptures say, man. And it's not a coinky thing that's happening, man. Because the Lord's trying to make Jake get right. And this is before the terrible day of the Lord, man. So Jake still got a chance. The Lord's just pouring out, like it says, Zephaniah 3 and 5, the Lord pour out his judgment every day. And the wicked perceive of it not. Well, I got your scripture here. It's Jeremiah 2, and I'll start from 11. Have a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?
And that's Israel, man. Right? Regardless of which, regardless of which tribe, right? Because this is the thing, when you get, you know, a Judah, Benjamin, Levi, or, you know, the Northern Kingdom, you know, going to these, you know, harlot houses that are called churches, the groves, they think that they're worshiping the God of the Bible, when actually they're not. They're worshiping, you know, a witchcraft. They're worshiping enemies, right? You're doing things that aren't according to the scriptures. And the proof of that is when we bring out the scriptures, you get offended.
Yeah.
Right? You don't understand. You have no understanding. I was watching that bloody funeral, man, right? You're seeing, you know, these devils bring out precepts. None of them come, you know, obviously, you know, what's going on a little bit more, right? That was sitting in there, but all the people watching it back home, right, they had no understanding what those scriptures were going on, what we're talking about, man.
Exactly. Jeremiah 2 and 11 again. Have a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit.
Yeah, so they worship all of these other gods and whatever, what have you, man. And the Lord is pissed at that. So it says, what Exodus, right? Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Jealous power, man.
That's it.
Lord he was being stern when he said that, man. He didn't say it for no reason. He was being straightforward, man. Look, don't worship no other idol gods before me. That's profane. That's outside of the temple. And they don't exist, man. You're worshiping wood and stone. That's pissing the Lord off, man. He said he's a jealous power. Why? Because we belong to the Lord, man. You don't belong to Esau, Edom. You know, you don't belong to the so-called white man. We belong to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And he's going to make that, he's going to stamp that fact of approval in these last days. That's why he's coming to deliver the elect. And the 2/3 that don't want to return, they're going to be destroyed with their sugar daddy E, man. They're going to go down with this sinking ship known as America, Babylon the Great. You know, because they love this fucking place too much. Back in Jeremiah 2 and 12, it says, be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid, be very desolate, saith the Lord. So destruction's coming, man. It says, for my people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken my fountain of living waters, which is this truth. They've forsaken this truth, and they've taken on the philosophies of the other nations, man. Worshipping, you know, anything that moves, man. Worshipping creations and worshipping animals and shit. For all these false religions that come out of water, you know, they just hit to it. They make a religion out of anything nowadays, man.
So scripture says they worship the creature more than the creator.
That's it.
The creature just means something created, right? You feel like God was going into, you know, Jake, you know, certain things. Oh man, you know, scripture talk about Jake following the ways of the heathen.
Yep.
Man, I watched this video, man. These bloody Elamites over there in the land of India, right, marrying 2 frogs, literal frogs, together, you know, in the hope that what do you call it? That they'll bring rain or some shit like that. But you gonna have Jake all amongst them partaking in that wicked.
Of course, definitely. That's why you have bitches like Cardi B, you know, eating all that crab, lobster, gumbo of nastiness, talking about octopus, acting like that's a lawful food to eat. But according to the scriptures, that's unlawful food, man. So our people are going way off following the other tribes, man. Eating the disgusting diet that they have, you know. living the way they live, smoking weed, all this other shit, man. Following the ways of the other nations, which is outside of the scriptures. That's why the Lord's going to pour judgment on them, man. Because they turn away from the living waters. This truth is living water, man. It never gets dead. It never gets stagnant. It's forever fresh, man. Forever flourishing, should I say. Forever moving. But they want to join on. They want to drink that dead water because it, you know, that stagnant water, because you know there's no boundaries with the other nations. You know, that goes back to the, you know, go back to the beginning with Adam and Eve, man. You had all the different trees. You know, the trees of knowledge, you need knowledge and understanding, and all that, trees of good and evil. That represents the philosophies of the other nations. We had all that, the right philosophy, but as we did, or Adam and Eve did, they strayed away from the living waters, man. And they went after the, you know, the tree of knowing good and evil. And then guess what happened, man? We fell. Yeah. And that's what our people are doing now. They're straying away from the Lord, the living waters, and going after these broken systems, man. And that's why the Lord's pouring out that judgment, because you're peeing them off. So I'll read that again. It says, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed themselves out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. And that's what these other religions are. You're in Kemet, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, any ism outside of the scriptures, yeah, those are broken cisterns, man. They don't hold no weight, they don't hold no water. And they damn sure don't have the living water, man. That's why these niggas lack understanding, man. You go into Islam, they ain't got no understanding of prophecy. Yeah. All they got is this bare, you know, quotes and shit for some fictional character, even though he was a real character, but he's not no Messiah, man. They made that shit up, man. He was just a regular dude.
You know, when you watch a film and it basically says it's fictional, but it says based on real people. That's basically what they've done. Right, for instance, they've got that film out about Nicolas Cage, but it's all kind of made up. Nicolas Cage is a real character, but the whole film is made up. The same thing with that Muhammad kid.
Yeah, all that Islam bullshit, man. You niggas have gone head drunk off of that, man. That's like a prison religion as well. You know, it's the first part of your initiation, you got to take on Islam, man. And wear a kufi in your damn head. That's what they did to Tyson. Tyson went to prison, and he was doing. They show you in a little biopic thing, that program that he's watching, the 8 episodes and all that. Show you he went to prison after that rape situation, and he was basically selling stuff inside the classrooms where they practice, you know, Islam. They're praying and all that. Their prayer rooms. He was selling stuff, merchandise in that room. But acted like he was the top shot of the prison, and then he ended up joining the fucking Islam because he was speaking to the leader and all that. Because he used to hang behind and listen to their prayers and all that. So he ended up joining, and the next minute he's into that Islam shit. That's a prison religion, man. That ain't of the Lord. That ain't of the scriptures, man. You know, and even in the Quran, it tells you that you got to reverence the men of the Bible, man. So Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It tells you got to reverence the children of Israel. So where's the power really at? Where's the truth really at? In the Bible, man. Not no damn Quran or Hebrew Negas or the Book of the Dead. All these faint philosophies of the world. Those are broken cisterns, man. That's gonna get you niggas killed. That Roman Catholicism that you northern tribes have got your head stuck up. That shit's gonna get you killed, man. That ain't of the Lord. So is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Yeah, you're spoiled with all these damn religions, man. Instead of coming back to who you truly are, being Hebrew Israelites. And there's nothing wrong with that, because they're the greatest people on the planet. You got the greatest leaders on the world from that nation, man. Starting first and foremost from our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai. He's from the tribe of Judah, man. He's the greatest man that ever lived. Ever lived, man. And he's been on the earth many a time, man. But Yahweh Shai is the Lord and Savior of the nation of Israel, man. So that's the greatest man on the planet, as far as I'm concerned. So what do you want to be a part of that nation, man? What do you want to be a part of that history? That's the greatest history you could be a part of, man. You don't want to be part of no Edomite history, smoking weed, growing dreadlocks, some Ishmaelites, you know, throwing sandstones and shit. Or Esau Edom that was in the caves. Esau Edom's history is dead, man. This nigga was in the caves running.
That's why he's stolen everyone else's history.
His history is shit.
And it makes you just think about the wickedness of this man, because he's created entire schools of science and philosophy to hide the pseudoscience. So that's why the scriptures talk about science falsely so called, right? To basically hide the fact that he was in the caves, right?
Yeah, that's a hell of a history, man. That's a disgusting history.
Yeah.
Find out he was on all fours, grunting like an animal.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Nebuchadnezzar, man. That happened to him one time, and that was bad enough for him.
Yeah, he was like, oh shit.
He turned him into a fucking beast, man.
Yeah.
In the field, basically. He was on all fours, getting hairy, nails all growing, all kind of fucked up. And after that experience, he repented, man. He got humbled after that. Esau, Edom, that's their history entitled, man. They was in the caves grunting. They always been in those cave type of elements, man. Even in Mount Seir, man, Mount Petra, those are like cave mountain type retreats. That's Esau's history, man. He's a caveman of the earth. Yeah. All he's done now is got a Gillette razor and suit and tie. and now he thinks he's the shit, man.
Well, you know, that's probably why he hates beard so much.
It
reminds him of when he,
that hairy fucking Sasquatch, man, that he used to look like. And you're gonna go back to that anyway. Because you ain't gonna have no fucking shaving kit in the kingdom, man. You're gonna go back to being that hairy man-looking beast that you was in the ancient world, man. And you're gonna be deterred from all the nations, man. In that book, by Timothy Husband, exposing you devils and during the Khazar Empire when he was in the caves grunting and on all fours, people shunned you from society, man. It's in the book of Job.
Yeah, I'm holding that.
Even Job said that they shunned you from society because you devils are a bunch of you just devils, man. You're not writing it. Fuck it, man. I'm trying to look for a word. You're a wicked specimen of people, man. And you need to be shunned from society, man. The beast, man, of the earth.
Yep.
Masters of disaster, man. The sons of perdition, man. That's you devils, man. Talking about some Queen Lizzie II. They're not even British, man. Queen Lizzie is German, man. King Charles is German. They ain't even fucking British. So what originality have you devils got, really, man? You're always lying. Habitual liars, man.
Yep. Says Job 30 from the top says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock.
Yeah, why? Because you devils will do some nasty works, man. You end up marrying your dog or doing some foul shit like Caligula, man, trying to marry his horse. Caligula was an Edomite. He was a Roman, right? Caesar. He was an Edomite, man. And he was trying to marry animals, man. Tried to marry his own damn horse, man. So that shows you that the spirit that's in these Edomites is not upright in them, man. They got perverse, sadistic, wicked minds, man. And all they can think about is doing some form of wickedness and evil, man. It's just innate in them to do that.
In certain states in the US, bestiality isn't even illegal. You can't. Yeah, that's it. Can't. Yeah, you know what you're saying. In certain states in America, bestiality isn't illegal. Right? I believe in the military. Right? You know, ain't nothing. You know, to them, there ain't nothing wrong with basically popping animals. And when they're out there on what you call it, popping goats, and that when they're out there on tour and shit, man. Right?
Sick beings, man.
Sick beings.
Twisted, demented beings. These are world leaders, man.
Yep.
You got Biden and all these guys. These guys are predators, man.
Yeah.
These guys are some sick predators, man. You put a camera behind them niggas on unseen footage to see what they get up to at night, man. During the day. These guys are sick, twisted beings, man. They do all kinds of sick rituals, man. Queen Lizzie, her whole family line, all them devils, man. They do all them kind of sick rituals, man. And these are our world leaders. These people are making policies on our lives, man.
Yeah. But that explains, pursuant to Sirach, the 10th chapter, it explains why the people are the way they are, right? Because you got certain individuals, even our people. That's what the scriptures talk about why Israel was separated, man, right? Because whenever it's the excellent is more righteous than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them, right? So when Jake ends up being around these Edomites, these different heathens, they start taking on their ways. Right, but that's why everyone in this kingdom is a liar, right? Because the leaders are liars. That's why everyone in this kingdom, does freaky deaky sex acts, because the leaders of the world do that, man, right? And then now they're what they're trying to actively promote in the world, right? That peace stuff, man. The maps in them, right? But continue on to Job 30:2 says, yea, where too much strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste.
Yeah, that's talking about these cave monkeys, man. Known as Edomites, man, in the Bible. They call themselves so-called white people, but there's nothing white or righteous or holy about them, man. They're really red. Go back to the Hebrew word Edom, other one, because that's their nationality. Their name was Esau, but the Lord changed their name to Esau to Edom. as a nation of red people, man, because that's who they are. Their blood is translucent through their skin, and that was a mark to show who the wicked on the earth is, man.
So,
And now those same people are being reverenced and highly exalted, like to say they're, you know, they're benevolent and godly, man. There's nothing godly about these devils. They're the ultimate devils, man. They're a bunch of thieves, robbers, and deceivers, man. They're the greatest deceivers on the earth. That's the only thing great about these so-called white people. They're the greatest deceivers, man. If anything, that's it. Other than that, they're just a bunch of cave monkeys, man.
Yeah.
That's power drunk right now. But the Lord's going to relinquish that power off them very soon. You hear what Putin's saying? Putin's looking to strike down America with all kinds of nuclear missiles, man. He's taking these threats. He's taking his threats seriously now, man. They ain't joking around no more, man. Biden has to take those threats very seriously because Putin's not playing, man.
Yeah.
Putin's just out here straight up. Look, man. Americans keep fucking around. We're gonna bomb the shit out of you, man. We're gonna throw these nukes at you, man. And why is that gonna happen? Because it's according to scripture, man. The Lord said He's gonna stir up the meat. He's gonna put hooks in them jaws, man. Gonna make Gog and Magog, which represents Russia today. You know, so that's what's gonna happen, man.
Yep. It says, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. It says they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. Right, and that's it. This man's entire history, right, is thievery and robbery, man. Right? You know, how did he get this place? How did he get that place? The worst thing about it is everyone will know his history, but yeah, it's like, you know, there's that covering. They don't question it. It's like everyone's mind is cold because you know, everyone knows he stole Australia. Yep. Everyone knows he stole America.
Illegal war in Iraq.
Illegal war, yeah. You know, people know that he's stealing oil in Syria right now. Right, you know those, they said, the illegal wars, but still people look at him like he's some benevolent God, like you're saying.
For example, you talk about war crimes in Ukraine.
Yeah,
they're trying to get Russia for right now, which is all bullshit. Because that man Zelensky is a straight up small hat devil, and he's done more war crimes on his own people than Putin's ever done, man. Yeah. All Putin's trying to do is claim his land back, and he's gonna get either way anyway. His regime and all that, because it's gonna happen. It's according to prophecy. So, and Tony Blair, that guy was up in the fucking Queen's death funeral. Yeah. Chilling like to say he ain't done shit wrong with his life. That guy's a war criminal, man. He's supposed to be in jail right now. He called for an illegal war on Iraq to join America in an illegal war, and he ain't paid shit for it. Yeah. He's supposed to be in jail serving life imprisonment or get beheaded or something, man.
That's the worst thing about it. Everyone knows it.
Everyone knows it, man. But this guy's walking around scot-free like he ain't done shit wrong.
With armed security.
You know what I'm saying? He led us into an illegal war, killed multiple people. Was part of people getting massacred, genocided basically, for the past 20 years, man. And he just walks around like he ain't done shit wrong. That's what you call a criminal, man. That's why the scriptures call Cain, which is your forefather, you Edomite's forefather. He calls him a vagabond and a fugitive, man, because you're running from justice, man. Just like Tony Blair is, man, and the rest of these Edomites. And on top of that, you're the same devils in the reincarnation who put us in chains, man.
Got a lot to pay for.
Got a lot to fucking pay for, man. You ain't gonna get off scot-free.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's like those are our heathens, man.
There you go, man. Yeah, lose trust, all that, man. Yeah. I'm praying you're gonna be one of my slaves in the kingdom, man. I'm gonna make sure you do some work for the fucking kingdom, man. You're gonna learn how to count too. Dumb bitch, man. Talk about you don't even know the simple basic maths. In the kingdom, you're gonna learn what maths is really all about. You're gonna learn how to count. I'm gonna make sure of that.
How many lashes was that, Liz?
Count how much cotton you just picked up, bitch. If you know what I'm saying? If you get the number wrong, you know what's coming next.
Hey, the thing is, we laugh and joke, but that's how Esau was treating us. That's how he was treating us.
Chattel slavery. They treated us less than animals, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're actually less than animals to these people, man. Yeah. So how much are we gonna treat you? And you're the original heathens of the earth. They're really spies of all nations, spies of the Lord.
Oh, did you hear what happened with the South Korean leader? Right, basically what happened, I think it's just after he shook Biden's hand, or when he was like, after he spoke to the American delegation, right? Afterwards, he was just like, man, fucking Americans. You know, he got heard on a hot mic. They're fucking Americans. Yeah, I believe in their language, in Korean and that. And
the other nations hate, they despise you. Yeah. They drunken again, that Jeremiah 50, drunken in that wine 50 and 7, 51 and 7. Drunken in the wine. Now the nations are mad. Because they did business with you devils, especially Asia. It talks about Asia and Babylon in 2nd Ezra 16 and 15. You know, it talks about you how the Asians, the Moabites, the Ammonites, South Koreans, whatever Koreans, man, they done business with you devils, and now they found out that it's all it's all a facade, man. And really, they didn't get no benefits out of it. So all they did is get themselves into gross debt on dealing with you devils, man. And that fraud system you call the American dollar, man.
Gross debt, and then now your whole society's messed up, man. Like that's what, for me personally, I'm seeing what's happening in Iran. And I'm just there like, bro, that's just Esau doing his thing, man, right? Because them Iranians ain't about their women going around uncovered, Libya and that, and none of these nations truly are. I remember you as on the topic of South Korea, right? Because you know a little bit about that, that particular place, right? Just the other day, not the other day, but a few months back, man, the men had a protest because they were like, look, man, hey, we don't want this feminism in our country, man. You know, they were like, no, we ain't about this shit. But as you see, what's happening? What does the scripture say? Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. How you doing, bro? We good, man? Bless.
That's what it is. That's what it is, man. It's definitely that. Esau is a big influencer, man. You know, it's like a economic hitman. He knows how to weasel his way into people's economies and start some shit, start some conflicts, man. Stir up the people so he can weasel his way in there, man. And that's why he's doing it by way of this feminist movement. That's how you know it's Esau eating. Because that doctrine comes from the West. That ain't no Middle Eastern doctrine. Feminism, liberating women, all that. Women shaving their heads, all that bullshit, man, on camera. That's Esau, man. That's the influence of the devil. So that's why this devil needs to be taken out, man. Because he's caused so much havoc on the earth. Just by his presence alone, man. He causes major havoc and disruption in the earth. He had this bitch Liz Truss go over to America making some stupid speech. Talking about, you know, she just made a speech after Biden came over here doing the Queen's funeral. She went over there next day, made some big UN speech, man. You know, and it's this Edomite Herb. These pieces of doo-doo, man, are making big policies, man, making big decisions on the behalf of the British people when they ain't even supposed to be the leaders of the. You got a woman in charge, especially. She's a woman, first and foremost, man. It's a weaker vessel, and she's in charge of fucking Great Britain. That's why the mini budget thing came out, and people are losing their fucking minds. Everyone pulled out of the British pound. The British pound sunk to fucking nearly damn near zero, man. After that speech, Kwasi, that fucking cooner, like Kwasi, Kwaki, whatever his name is, man. Quarten, Quarteng, or whatever your thing is, man. That nigga Kwasi, man, that bubble-eyed nigga made that stupid speech. And then the pound just dropped, man. It tanked, man, lower than any time in history. So that shows you that this economy is fucked because you got a woman leading it. And you got a stupid ass nigga making speeches, man, on her behalf. And let's tank the whole economy, man. Everyone pull their money out straight away, man. And people gonna act like that's not the with that. Shit is that's gonna be a on the history of Britain.
Just a quick says Daniel 14. This by the decree of the watchers, man, by the word of the Holy. The living may know. Most High ruleth the kingdom of men, giveth it whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men.
Yeah, and that's who's ruling right now. The basest of men is these Edomites, man. As we've been reading in Job, these days there was a violent of the earth, the nation of fools, and they're making major decisions because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked.
Hey, one of the key things when you look into Netflix has never made a profit. Netflix always made a loss. I remember reading into it like maybe a year ago. They were like, "Oh, this year we're only gonna lose $1 billion," and that's a good year. So I was really thinking about that, and I was like, "Why even?" I was thinking, okay, what is this? Spirit was like, "Yo, that's because that Netflix isn't about making money. It's about pushing agenda throughout the world. Content, right? It's about pushing because whenever you watch a Netflix television program, what do they have? Some kind of alphabet person." Right, you know, they got this new show now, coupled or whatever. I saw the advert for it was sickening, man. Right?
After shows on there's always some LGBT shit.
Yeah, all the time.
Some Transformer shit, you know, some fuckery down there. Even your favorite programs, they got to put it in there to just, just to throw off this, the flavor of the program, man. They got to put some fire shit, some moles in there, some lesbo shit. Yeah. No, just totally destroy the whole fucking the program that we used to watch.
And depending on what, because one of the reasons I found it interesting, because I was watching one Korean show, right? Trying to get with the language in that, right? And basically, it was the show was straight feminism, right? And it goes to show that's how they get little things in there, because it starts as an undertone, and then it becomes overt. And then when that's been passed, guess what? You're gonna start having in them shows, the alphabet people in them shows. Why? Because he knows how to break and chip away at societies bit by bit by bit.
Gradually.
Indoctrination,
man. Esau's the king of that.
Yeah.
Psyops and all that. It's all propaganda, man, for Esau's agenda, which is what? The NWO.
That's it.
New World Order. Everything that's happening in society now, all the technology, the banking system, everything's leading to what? A new system, a new digital system by way of these CBDCs, man. Now they all these companies, all these countries, America's coming out with a coin, coming out with a digital coin now. To replace the dollar, because the dollar is fucking the value to shit now. And the same thing's gonna happen with Great Britain, man. That's why this shit tanked, fell down, because they want the pound to drop so low that it's gonna be not legible no more. So they're gonna have to come with a digital coin, and it's gonna have King Charles's head on it, man. That's gonna be the new form of buying and selling, that digital coin, man. Then you got the social system, all that shit. Everything's intermingled and mangled into one. That universal one world order, man. That's what it's all about. That's why they're destabilizing governments and all that. It's to herald this new way of buying and selling, this new form of money, a cashless society, man. But people are still not hip to what's going on.
Yeah.
People are still none the wiser, man. They're still blinded, still dumb, deaf, and blinded to what's going on. Yeah, still voting, still enabling these devils in their endeavors. Instead of boycotting shit, you're applying for shit.
Yeah. In our law, it says you shall not set up a king over thee that is not of thy people, man. And even if let's say Kwasi ran for TN, you still can't vote for him. Why? Because he's for an Edomite kingdom, man.
He might be a 10.
He could be.
Weird as fuck,
because even I was watching Elder Apostle Orion Love speaking on the Iran protest, and he was saying that as well, about how certain of them women are probably Amalekites that that are basically intermarried into those families and that.
Yeah, man, like my man Rishi.
Yeah, Rishi. Yeah,
that guy's a small hat, man. That looks like a so-called Elamite, man. He's a small hat, man. Even my man's got more flavor than him. The mayor, what's his name? The Elamite dude, the mayor.
Oh, yeah. Him.
Yeah, he's got more flavor than my man Rishi right now. Rishi just moves like an Edomite, with a bit of tan. Yeah, that's what he do. I'm glad he ain't the prime minister. Yeah. Shit would have probably even worse than it is now. Because he's a straight up fraudster, man. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing, for real. That guy. And Liz Truss, she's a devil anyway. She's a she-Edomite. She's a she-devil. But I'd rather have her, because I know she's the damn devil anyway. The Rishi, man. And he's fucking secret advice, man. Sadiq Khan. He's got more flavor than Rishi, man. Rishi just acts like a straight up lost soul, man. He probably doesn't even know what a chapati is, man, or whatever, man. A curry or whatever. He probably ate curry in his life, man. That guy, man. He acts like a straight up Edomite, man. I'm telling you, man. That guy probably doesn't even know what a chapati or a roti is, man.
Samosa.
Yeah,
what is that?
Samosa. What is that song? Samosa's a song, man. Yeah, man.
That's like that cheeky song.
Yeah, that's exactly how he sounds as well. Posh, Edomite.
Right.
That guy's a straight small hat rat.
Yeah. A proof of that is his wife is a billionaire, man.
What? Doing what?
Exactly. No, you look. One thing you understand about this world is you don't get that kind of money unless Esau gives you the okay. This is Jeremiah 51:7.
Yep.
Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, right? That made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah, man. All these nations that slept with America, done business with America. Like Apostle Elder Tahar was going into and even Apostle Elder Rhymer was going into the seven heads and the 10 horns, the beast system. How Europe took over at that time through Rome, and how they reincarnated and reinvented themselves and came back as Rome 2.0 today through America, man. And everyone's had business with this damn devil, man. All the European counterparts, all the other nations, man. They've all done business with this devil. And what have they got from it? Nothing but debt, and nothing but help. Now everyone's got to deal with this new monetary system that's coming because of off the back of America's fucked up fraud system, man. That's been running for how many years, man? Half a century, whatever. You know, or half a century, 50 years. So yeah, like over 50 years, that American dollar's been running the markets, man, and causing nothing but hell.
Yep.
Now all these nations, they're getting a backdraft of that. Yeah, they made their money, but now they ain't making it. Shit ain't so good no more. Everyone has to deal with debt and all these inflation prices and you know, everything's fucked, man. For a lot of people, man, and it's namely because of America. That fucking American dollar, man. That's why Russia's like, no, fuck America, man. We ain't dealing with America. You want to get our gas, you're gonna have to deal with our prices and our system, man, our way of doing things, man. And China's on that same shit.
If I can say as well, both of the Putin was like, look, man, we're gonna start going back into money backed by natural reserves,
gold,
i.e., gold and silver.
That's why they got all the, that's why China's got all the gold reserves. They bought mad gold reserves, you know, and Russia did the same thing. But they knew this was coming.
For the longest time, before they even invaded Ukraine the second time, one of the things they were doing is they were stocking up on that gold, right? So they you know, people are like, oh my god, their economy's gone to. Look, man, they've got something back in their economy, man.
They're stacked.
You know?
They're already stacked and loaded. And even Libya, before they took out Gaddafi, he was doing the same thing. And look what they did to him. They took his ass out because he was basically gonna start the whole ball rolling with distancing themselves from that American dollar. And they was like, no, we got to take this guy out. But now Russia's doing it. They can't really take out Putin because you know that's Gog and Magog, man. They got a stronger stronghold, man. That's one of the major superpowers. They got you know, America start fucking around with Russia. Russia would just send them nukes tomorrow, man. Anytime soon, man.
That's it.
And that World War III would have start off. You know, so America can't really overstep with Russia, man.
So that's why they're doing all the proxy.
That's why they're doing all the proxy, trying to fuck with Ukraine and all that, trying to get on their borders and all that. You know, pay nations off to join NATO and all that. You know, trying to do that economic hitman, but another way.
That's it. Because there's that saying, man, you know, mess with a man's this, mess with a man's that, but mess with a man's money.
Ooh, that's no, man. That's war. That's war talk right
there. Verse 8 says Babylon is suddenly fallen, right? And destroyed.
It's falling as we speak, but it's really going to be falling when those nukes get shot off, man. And we see it getting heralded around the four winds of the earth. When World War III kicks off, man, America's not going to be able to stand that, man. America's going to get a full blast, a full blast of those nuclear missiles, man, and the land of Israel too.
So something's going to happen, something's going to come. Where
they're going to do some fuck shit.
Because people look at that old devil. Same with Liz. They looked at that old devil. Oh, she's so sweet. That bitch wasn't sweet. That was the right devil, man. If only you knew. I mean, because what you call it? Amount of adrenochrome that she would have probably drank to keep her moving. Moving until like 96. That's a good old age. Let's be real. Scripture says
you leave to 96 in London, man. Unless you've got some super like health insurance or someone looking after the ass, man.
96 and still quite mobile and able to do certain things, moving around, driving cars and shit.
Straight up witch, man.
You know,
drinking bare children's blood and all that. That was a demon, man. Death to that heifer, man. Good riddance, man. We don't give a shit about that bitch, man. One dead Edomite's a good Edomite, man.
I forgot who had said that. It was like the only good Edomite is a dead Edomite, man.
That's one less burden, man, on the nation, man.
But she gonna come back. She's gonna come back straight
in the right order.
Right place, man.
Chains, man.
Under our feet, man.
Chains in our eyes. We're gonna be Avatar in our eyes.
That's it. So it says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Right? How for her?
So America's gonna overstep and do something where they just, you know, break some international laws and boundaries where they ain't gonna be able to pay their way out of it, man. The soul's in Isaiah 14, is it 13? That, you know, the Russians ain't gonna regard gold or silver no more in that time. They're just gonna shoot their missiles, man, because by then it's just gonna be enough is enough. No more war talk, no more, you know, talks and none of that shit. It's just straight up war. Straight up pushing the missile buttons, man.
And rightfully so, man, because scriptures talk about the you know, all of the blood that has been shed in that land. Scripture says, you know, that the land cannot be cleansed by the blood, right, but by of the blood shed there, but by the blood of him that shed it, man. You know, because a lot of damn blood has been destroyed, shed on that land. You think about the transatlantic slave trade. That's one. You think about what happened to, you know, the Northern Kingdom, Gad, Reuben, right? But then also you think about what is happening today, the abortions, right? What I remember, I forgot. I think this may have been like since like 1970 to 2001. It was something like 1 million Jakes got aborted, man. You know, a million so-called, not sorry, 1 million so-called black, because it's it's on people say the most dangerous place for a black so-called black child is in the womb, right? So it was basically things on just black. So between 1970 and 2001, 2002, when the stats was released, right, it was saying like basically 1 million. So now you put on the Latin tribe on top of that, and then now you put the past 20 years since then, where people are even more degenerate. Because back in the day, Jake, who you hear it, Jake had an abortion, you're kind of like, that's fucked up. But nowadays, bitches they're like, oh yeah, I had one, I've had two.
Taking the piss.
Yeah.
It's Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
That's it.
So who shed the blood in the land of America? And news for you, the British Empire was a big major part of the shedding of the blood of the Native Americans, the indigenous tribes, and the Western so-called West Africans as well, man. That went over to the New World, went over to the North, South, and Central America. British Empire had a major hold in that, man. Don't forget the British pound was still ruling at the time of slavery, man. They had the pound. They even show you that in Roots, man. They sold the Kuta Kente for £100, some shit like that, on the auctioning block. So they was exchanging money over there in America, because that was part of one of the 13 colonies of America before they gained their independence. So the British Empire is a big part, major part of fucking slavery, man. So you're damn right, death to that fucking Queen Devil, man. Her family line all goes back to that slave trade and all that wickedness that went on, man. Look what these devils did to Kenya and all that, man. Making them pick up all kinds of stones, rubble and dirt out of the dirt. And these bitches are standing over them, looking at them, gawking at them, man.
And the worst thing is they invited all those so-called African leaders staring at their own jewels stolen out their land.
Stolen bare jewels, jewelry, bare stones and golden carriages and shit, rubies. You got the what they call it, blood diamonds and that, Sierra Leone. All that shit was stolen by these devils, man. The British Empire, and America, man. Fuck these devils, man.
Notice how you've not heard anything about that golden mountain that was found over there. It was in Uganda, was it?
There's no gold no more.
There's no gold any look, man. And this is the thing, people may think we're just laughing and joking, right? But I've spoken to certain people that have, that are in particular security type roles that do like international security, and the amount of shit that happens in this world, right, that you don't even know about, right? People, we know because we understand who we're dealing with. We understand this devil, right? Scripture says that he cannot be satisfied, right? Neither keepeth at home, right? There are black ops operations happening right now.
Yeah, definitely.
But just because you don't hear about them on the news, people think they don't happen.
Yeah, apparently America's over there in Ukraine already. Trying to back them and do certain things.
Yeah.
And a lot of men are getting slaughtered. But they ain't going to put that out on the news.
That's it.
That's basically a declaration of war.
Yeah, which is why Putin's doing what he's doing. Because regardless of whether, America and the Western community agrees to what's happening, the elections, the referendums to join Russia, regardless of whether they agree to them, if now like American weapons are hitting that land, you're hitting American weapons are hitting Russia.
That's a declaration of war.
That's a declaration of war.
You ain't supposed to be sending your troops over there. You're sending troops over there to back Ukraine against Russia. That means that's a declaration of that's world war right there. So the war's already started. It's just got to get hotter.
That's it.
That's why Putin's coming out saying Americans keep fucking around. We're just gonna blow you to hell and back. People ain't putting 2 and 2 together. Why does he keep threatening America? Because they're over there fucking with their land, man. Through Ukraine, through like Zelensky. That small hat rat, man.
There's clips of like some American sounding troops out there in already, man.
They're there, man.
They're there.
They've been there, man.
Been there.
They do little secret operations and all that, try to get them in. Probably try and change up their uniform and all that, but they're there. And they've been there. How much billions has Biden been sending over there to Ukraine? He ain't just doing that for no reason, because their troops are over there as well.
Already. And the worst thing about it is they can only account for 30% of the missiles that they've sent to Ukraine. So what's happening with the rest of the missiles?
Who's funding all that shit?
Yeah. And these times someone pointed out Flint's still struggling with that dodgy water.
And all wars, remember, all wars are bankers' wars. So it's really the Rothschilds trying to set some shit up, man. This new world order. And apparently, behind closed doors, they're saying that Putin's not really down with the NWO. He's trying to do his own thing. He's not really down with the bankers' NWO thing. That's what apparently they're saying. So it's an international bankers' war that's going on behind the scenes. It's not just a war over land and all that. It's deeper than that. The rabbit hole goes very deeper than that, man. This is about the bankers, the Rothschilds, all these devils, man. Don't forget, during the time of the Bolshevik Revolution, who started that? The Rothschilds, man. They was fucking with Russia back then. They invaded Russia back then and stole Tsar Nicholas's riches and all that, man. Killed off his family, exiled his family and all that. Then stacking what's his name, Stalin. They put Stalin in it. He was put in there by the Rothschilds, man. Go back to World War II. Who started World War II? The Rothschilds, because who's Hitler? Hitler was an offspring of the offshoot of the Rothschild family. The Rothschild funded that nigga to put him in charge of Germany at that time, the Reich. And he basically started World War II through the Rothschild, through the international banking family. So all these wars are banking wars, man. So it goes deeper than the rabbit hole goes deeper than what people think. It goes deeper than what you see on the news. It's deeper than the surface, man. It ain't just about war over land and people want freedom. You know, it's deeper than that, man.
Verse 9. Let me finish 8 again. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed.
This is why Babylon's not going to be healed, because of all the fuckery they've done on the earth, all the wars, the conflicts, all the shit that they've started, because that represents them to being the red horse, to take peace away from the earth. And that's all these Edomites have done. You check their trail of history, man. All they've done is take peace from the earth by way of shedding of blood through their blessing, which is the sword, man. That's why the blood of that land needs to be cleansed by way of the blood of him that shed it, man. That's why Esau, Edom, Esau white people are going to get a destruction that they've never felt before, man. They're going to get a hell of a destruction. That's only the beginning of their sorrows, because after that, after the smoke is cleared, they got to serve 1,000 years of hardcore slavery.
That's it.
Other day they show 12 years of slaves. That's nothing compared to what's going to happen to you devils, man. You devils are going to feel it, man.
So because we're going to have that spiritual power, man.
On top of that.
Yeah, because the Lord's going to allow us to do things. Here it is. He's got all of these plans of how he's going to deal with brothers when he gets brothers and whatever. He's going to, inflict pain, right? But look what happened with Antiochus, man. He tried to inflict pain on them 7 brothers, but guess what? The Lord was with them 7 brothers, man. Yeah, and them brothers, he said one of them was basically getting cut. I mean, he wasn't even doing he wasn't screaming or screeching or anything. The Lord was with them, right? So now imagine we're going to have power over you, right? And we're going to have power to keep your spirit in you, man. Just making you feel that pain.
Even in the time of martial law, when certain brothers might get hemmed up, you might try and do certain things to brothers, and they're just not going to be feeling it, man.
Yeah.
The Lord going to put a cold spirit on brothers where they're not going to, fold, man, basically. You could be trying to torture brothers and that, and they're just not going to react. Same way that the 7 brothers didn't react when he was pouring hot oil on or whatever he was trying to do to them, trying to inflict pain. They're just not going to react the way you think they're going to react, like screaming and all that. They're just going to hold it. The Lord going to put a firm, cold spirit on them brothers, man. Whoever it is, man. Certain brothers are going to be beheaded for this truth. Yeah. Brothers ain't going to be led to the guillotine or screaming, crying like a bitch. We're going to hold our manlyhood, man. We're going to be bold as lions, man. Even if we're led to the guillotine. We're going to be cursing your asses out until that blade drops, man. And then Yahweh Shai is going to raise us up anyway, so your asses are fucked, man. Because when we come back, you're finished. You can only kill us once. You can only kill us once. You can't kill us after that. After we die, so to speak, if we do die, that's it, man. We're going to conquer death. We're going to come back, resurrected like the Lord did, and your ass is finished. You can't, when the Lord comes back, you ain't going to be able to put your hands on him again. You can't kill the Lord again. He conquered death.
Shall not be as a man.
You devils are through, man. Either way, we're fighting a lose-lose situation. So you can do what the fuck you want, but you need to hurry up because we want to get the hell up out of it, man. So that's the real down to business thing. You need to hurry up and do what you're doing, man. Yep. So we can get the hell up out of here and get into the Lord's kingdom.
That's it. So 1 Thessalonians 4:16, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel. And
mighty shout, man. They're going to be blowing them shofar horns. The ground's going to be shaking, as well as the nukes and all that going off. The earth's going to be shaking just off the sound of them horns alone, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. This world's not ready for it, man.
It says, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Mashiach shall rise first.
Yeah, so all the Asian men of old that, you know, did this work, you know, especially King David, King Marshall, which is King David, man, like it or lump it, you know, he's gonna come back. You know, High Priest Abba Bivens, you know, Elijah, he's coming back, you know, and all the great men that have died and passed there, all the High Priest Yaakov and other men that have died and come back, they're gonna come back with the Lord, man, in their position, in their lot. And then we're gonna rain terror on you people out here. The Lord said he's gonna invade this earth with his troops when he returns, man. There's gonna be an Israelite invasion, ain't no alien invasion. It's gonna be an Israelite invasion.
Yeah, that's it. And also those that, you know, in these last days that he's gonna try and put to death, man. Right? Scripture says, you know, basically, if we die unto the Lord, man. Right? And it also says in Wisdom, the 3rd chapter, right, about how in the sight of the unwise they seemed to die, but now is their hope full of immortality.
Yeah, just like when the Lord passed, they didn't think that the Lord was gonna rise up after 3 days. They thought they killed the Lord and he was done away with, man. Not knowing that the Lord told them, look, I'm gonna rise up for 3 days, and you people were fucked after that. Because then I'm gonna be made immortal, and I'm gonna come back in the second time, and I'm gonna mess you people up.
Yeah.
And they didn't understand that. They thought they killed the Lord and that was it. Not knowing that they just started a whole phase of futuristic you know, coming to pass.
Yeah, that's it. So like that was a thing that needed to happen. Same thing with him pushing the MOTB. We need you to push it. We need you to push that MOTB, man. We can't leave until you push that MOTB.
That's why, you know, even though it's gonna be a scary time, you know, the banking economy, all that, everything getting fucked, you know, inflation and recessions and all that stuff. But we need this stuff to happen, man. Otherwise, we ain't gonna be able to get out of it. We're gonna stay stuck here forever, man. If this devil doesn't push this mark of the beast system, man. That's how you know we're getting, the more closer we get, the more happy and more rejoiceful we should be. Because that means that we're one step closer to the Lord returning and taking this devil down, man. So we need him to push that shit. Anytime we see a new article saying, what would you do, you know, taking chip or some type of AI technology, whatever they're pushing, we get happy, man. Because that means we're one step closer. You know, even though it's going to be a total hellish time on earth, but we need it, man. It's the necessary evil. We need this shit to happen. Yeah.
That's it. That's basically the point on that one. And back in Jeremiah 51 and 9, it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies.
Yeah, and that's why the economy is going to tank. It's not going to be revived. America's not going to be made great again. Because the Lord's not going to let America bounce back. All they're going to do is bounce into nuclear destruction, man. The Lord's not let America get great again. They had their time during the 70s and all that. During the space race. That's when you set your nest upon the stars, all your satellites and all that. Then the Lord said, then shall I bring you down.
Hey, when you look back at like America in the 50s, yo, that was a high
happy days.
Happy days.
Fonzie and all these niggas, you know, Fonzie and all that. That was the happy days, man. That's why they had that program, Happy Days. So that was a pinnacle of what America looked like. Fonzie and the gangs and the picket fences and that white picket fence in the houses, and you know, the family all together, everyone in the house. Dad goes to work, mummy's in the house cooking and all that.
Yeah,
and the children
big smile on their
that's
face.
why they call it Happy Days. That shit ain't happy no more.
That's it. Everyone's got to work. Everyone's through. Everyone's depressed.
Everyone's in debt.
Everyone's in debt.
Mourning, you know, because the wicked's in rule.
Okay. So it says verse 10, the Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power.
That's what we're doing. We're declaring the work of the Lord our power, man. Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. And he's the one who's bringing this terror upon the earth, and he's going to increase it, man, until the day of the Lord return, when he sends his son to return. It's going to keep getting more terrifying and more dramatic and more death and all this shit. It's going to keep happening because the Lord is bringing this terror upon the earth. He's the King of Terrors, man. That's one of the Lord's titles, man. And he's going to remind you people why they call him the King of Terrors.
That's it. That's it.
Then the Lord's got animals out here that you people ain't seen for a long time, man. That's going to resurface. You got Leviathan chilling in the waters, man.
Chilling.
You got Leviathan, this great sea serpent, chilling in the waters, waiting to rear his head. Lord got all kinds of treats for you people out here. You ain't seen shit yet, man. This is like the greatest sci-fi movie ever seen, man.
Yeah.
But it ain't fiction, that's the only thing.
Yeah. Science is the sci-fact.
Yeah, it's sci-fact, man. This ain't no damn fiction. And as they say, the truth is stranger than fiction. So the Lord's out there, man. You people don't understand. The Lord is out there.
Yeah. So it says, where are we? Yeah, it says, verse 11 says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes.
Who's the kings of the Medes? The Russians, man.
Yep.
Who's the arrows? Who's the shields? What's the shields in the buckler and the arrows talking about? Those nuclear missiles, man.
Yep.
They're gonna shoot their missiles directly at America's foreheads, man. That shit's gonna land point blank where it's supposed to, man, and destroy that whole land.
That's it.
That's gonna be a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Day of vengeance, man.
That's it. I was gonna say, and that's why, for instance, just speaking as a man, just watching what's happening on a geopolitical stage at the moment, right? With basically all of Russia's allies, man. Not all of them, but with some of Russia's key allies.
Yeah.
You're seeing what's happening with Iran at the moment, right? Because what does that mean? It basically means that when your allies are occupied, they can't be there on your side. And then what was it as well with Armenia? Right, where basically it's Armenia and Azerbaijan just the other day, right, where basically Russia has a pact with Armenia, a military defense pact.
Yeah.
So then if you're having to protect Armenia in something else, now you're kind of like, okay, cool. Now you're basically what's America trying to stretch them thin, trying to stretch the allies thin, trying to stretch Russia thin.
Yeah.
Right, which goes to show you that the things are moving, things are working in the background, man.
Joel Free's gonna come into play.
That's it.
You can get that after if you want.
Yep.
But multitudes and multitudes are gonna be gathered in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is over there in the Middle East, man. The Valley of Decision, the Most High's judgment, Yahweh Shabbat. Because that's why the Lord's making all these armies basically stretch themselves thin, and have all these allies join, basically choose sides of who they want to back for this Third World War. But they're all gonna be intermingled. They're all gonna get involved either way. And they were going to blow each other to smithereens. That's a beautiful part about it. The Lord's making all this happen. Because Isaiah 13, which I got here, I might as well read it.
Okay.
The Lord mustereth the host of the battle, right? Isaiah 13, I'll start from 4. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. So the Lord's the one who's mustering the host of the battle, the Russians against the Americans. Iran and China are joining sides with Russia. And America has their allies, NATO and the EU, and they're gonna go to war, man. It's gonna be a clash of the titans, and they're all gonna blow each other to smithereens. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battles, man. The Lord of hosts means the Lord of armies, man. Since the Lord putting a mindset in these world leaders to do what they're doing, they're just doing it off their own backs. It says they come from a far country. What comes from a far country? The nuclear missiles, man. They ain't talking about no regular arrow. Arrow doesn't travel that far.
Yeah.
It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven. Even the Lord and his weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. What land? The land of America. But the Lord's got a controversy against Babylon the Great. He's got an extreme prejudice against those Edomites over there in Babylon the Great, America. He's going to destroy that whole land, anyone that's left in it. Anyone that's not beamed up on them ships, man. When them ships come, the new arcs, you're through, man. You're going to get burnt up. That's the second death. Just like when they had the first death, the waters, the time of Noah. Anyone that wasn't in that ship, in the ark, when those floods came, when the rain started pouring, you was finished, man. You was getting drowned, man. You was sinking, man. You was drowning in that water. You was gonna perish. Same thing with now. People are gonna perish by way of fire. It's just the way the Lord's doing it, man.
Yeah.
It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven. Yeah, one part of the earth, and it goes through the heavens, actually goes up through the atmosphere, through the heavens, and then comes back down and hits their destination, man. The missile splits apart in the heavens, then you get the warheads, and then whether they're supersonic or whatever, and then they hit their intended target. One video showed Russia shooting off, like it showed a simulation of them shooting a missile coming out of the silo, going through the heavens as it does, splitting up in the air, warheads come out, and then they show a picture of it coming down, and where's it facing, where's it pointing? One of the warheads was pointing the White House.
Yeah.
Show the picture of the White House, and then the missile hitting it. So that's how it's going to be. There's only difference is going to be 200 million of them.
Yeah.
There's going to be 200 million missiles pelting America, man. So how the hell is America going to just withstand that? They can't.
And the more beautiful thing as well is the Lord's going to be in the missiles, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Read it here. Verse 6. It says, "How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It is come as a destruction from the Almighty." Now Isaiah, 54 tells you the Lord put the spirit on these devils to make those, split the atom and make those bombs, so he can use it for his weapons of the destroyer of the waster to destroy it. He created the waster to destroy it, man.
Yeah.
Those missiles were not made to be put in the museums, man. They're not made to just be artifacts to just look and stare at.
Yeah.
They're made to be used to destroy shit.
Yeah. Well, the proof of that was with the development of the first one, with the Fat
Boy and Little Man.
Fat Boy and Little Man.
Oppenheimer.
Because when you look through the history, hey, when you look in the history, right? Japan had already put out the white. They was like, look, man, we good. They was like, look, man, we surrendered, right? But basically, they had built this weapon, and they wanted to use it. They wanted to experiment, man. And this is the kind of devil that we're dealing with, right?
That's bloodshed.
He loves bloodshed because as the post will bring out as well. He not only was he only dropped the atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but he was dropping hella bombs all over Japan, right? He had concentration camps in America to have all of those Japanese all up in there, man, right? But basically, the Japanese, according to history, they had surrendered, but America was like, look, man, we've done all this work. Let's show the world what we can do.
We need to experiment.
We need these to drop, man. But yet, and which goes to show you that this whole thing is spiritual, because yet them Japanese will look at Jake sideways and not an Edomite.
We never bombed you, devil.
Yeah.
They might have tried to pay you little reparations and all that, for enslaving your people, putting you in concentration camps. But we never enslaved you.
That's it.
We never dropped no fat man and little boy on you, man. We never dropped no damn bombs in your ass. It was just some damn American, man. These Edomite devils that did that shit.
That's it.
And they're still harboring hate for you devils, man.
Yep.
Them Japanese, they're gonna get you devils back during the time of World War III.
Yeah.
They got missiles waiting to shoot in your ass too.
Because you're still over there in their land, in Osaka, places occupying. When you got a military base outside of your land, that's an occupation.
Romans occupied that. At the time of the known world, at that time the Romans had occupation. They occupied Judea.
Yeah.
Set up false leaders like the whole Hasmonean dynasty and fucking the Herod family.
Yeah.
They was occupying back then, they're occupying now.
That's it. And then they'll tell you it's for your protection. It ain't for your protection. Bullshit. Because that's one thing I've always, Spirit's always made me consider that for the longest time about all of these all of these countries that surround Russia, right? But are also NATO members. I'm just there like, but wait there. Strategically, if you're Russia, where's the first place you're going to hit? I mean, strategically, they say they're going to hit London because that sends a message, right? But after that, you're going to take out all of those bases that are around about your border. Why? Because then you got nothing to interfere, which the Lord, as we're going to get in Joel, right? The Lord's not going to let any of these missiles not hit their target, man. Right? Or is that a Micah? It's in the scriptures. Then shall thrust them through.
Yeah, I got that anyway. One second.
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, I said when I consider that, it's like, well, here it is. This man has done all the wickedness in the world. Yet people look at Jake like we're the gremlins of society. Here it is. He's what do you call it? Got the blood of billions of people all across the earth. Yet people look at Jake like we're the enemy. We just goes showed how this thing is spiritual, man.
It's lucky I said Hasmonean. I meant the Herodian dynasty. I said
it's like yeah.
It started with Antipater,
Yeah.
Antipater the first was the head of that Herodian dynasty. Those nation of devils that took over Judea. That was called the Roman occupation. They occupied us in our own land.
Yeah.
That's why 70 AD happened, man. These same devils came back today and they're doing the same shit all over again.
Yeah.
They're occupying people in their own lands, man.
Yeah.
They ain't got no business being in these people's lands, but they're over there, got soldiers, barracks, all military guards, all kind of what do they call them, bureaus and shit in there.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are they doing in other people's lands, making policies and shit, controlling resources and all that in other people's lands? That don't make no fucking sense.
And if I'm not mistaken, that because I know it's the same with embassies, which is
embassies, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Bureaus, embassies.
if I'm not mistaken, because I know it's a similar thing with an embassy, where basically that is the land of that country, which is why the whole thing with Assange. That's why they couldn't just go in to the embassy, because that was that was what I thought was Ecuadorian. That was Ecuadorian land, basically in London, if you will. So if you got an American military base out there,
military can attack you.
Yeah, that's basically America. That's America.
That's what. That's basically anytime America, you got an embassy in it, man, like say in Iraq or anywhere, and they try and pull up to the gate. The military just comes in force, man. They don't just let you in. The military comes because they're protecting their land, basically. Because they're saying that this is our land and this belongs to us. You can't come over. You're trespassing, basically. But you're in someone else's land. You're telling them they're trespassing in their own land. So if I go past this gate, your military's got the right to lay me out in the middle of the damn street, even though you're in my land, because you got an embassy there with a fucking American flag, which is not supposed to fucking be there. That shows that you're occupying in another man's land. You need to keep it at home, like the scripture says in Habakkuk. And you largest your desires help. You're a vagabond, you're a fugitive, you're up in everyone's business except your own. Your own economy's falling to shit. But instead of dealing with your own shit, you're sending money and funds to other countries to enable more war.
To enable death, which as about just quoted, you're as death.
You know what I'm saying? Your whole economy's falling to shit. You ain't even got no clean water. There's all kind of floods and shit that need to be taken care of. But instead, you're sending all kind of retreat money to other countries to fund wars and shit. For what? Because you're the man of sin.
But
you need to keep it at home, guys.
I was gonna say because you got two things right in America. So in Esau's thing, you got the money makers, right? You've got the military industrial complex and the medical industrial complex. And right as the medical industrial complex has done its thing with the CV, right? You know, the P company and the M company and J&J were making tons of money, right, over the last two years. So that's really all what it was about, right? But now, as soon as that's done, because even Biden came out this weekend, he was like, "Look, man, you know, it's all done."
Yeah, right? It's all done, but they're still trying to tell people to take the jab.
Exactly.
That don't make no sense. You're saying COVID's done. You're telling people to still take the jab. What the fuck is it?
Still under CV emergency powers as well.
All that shit. That don't make no fucking sense.
Don't make no sense. But now that's all done, guess what's being pumped up again? The military industrial complex, man. Well, you just go show it's all a racket. It's all a racket, man.
Was it Joel 3? Isaiah 13 and Isaiah 13 and 17 says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes." So the Medes again represents the Russians, King Putin, against them. Against who? Esau, Edom, the American Edomites, against the Russian Edomites. It says, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So it's going to come to a point where all the talk, all the trade deals, all that shit's not going to work no more. It's not going to mean anything. You're going to overstep. You're going to do something where you can't go back. And Israel's going to be a part of that as well, man. Israel, those Jewish rats over there, they're going to do something to overstep, and they're going to make Russia want to blow their asses to hell and back too. America's going to have to step in and back their NATO or EU partners, Israel.
It says Joel 3, and I'm going to start from verse 9. Proclaim me this.
You can even start from the top, man.
Okay.
You know, this is all about you devils paying for what you've done.
So Joel 3 and 1 says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem."
So this time the Lord's going to deliver us from our captivity. The kingdom of Judah and Israel, meaning that the Lord's going to deliver us a second time.
That's it.
You know, but this time he's only going to deliver the remnant from the land of the north. 2/3 ain't going to make it past the destruction, man. They're going to die here. You know, they're wrong. They're a bunch of wrongers. They're not good, man, right now.
Right, rightfully so, man. Shit. Because our people are full of shit. Sad but true. They say, you know, certain times, man, you watch certain things and you stay like, man, that's why the cops kill you niggas, man. Real talk.
Jake's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
The whole Chris Carver thing, man. Right, and like I said, I found it very interesting. It took one shot to put them down, man. One shot, right? Which you know, let's say it reminds me of when what do you call it? Elder Barakal always says these gun police, they're itching. Because they be watching Jake doing all of that in the cameras and all of that, doing.
They practice some.
Yeah.
Jake's mug shots and all that.
That's it.
As
Yeah.
targets, you know, they look at niggas' faces and they, you know.
Yeah. But these time, this guy straight, what do you call it? Straight tried to run over gun police and was surprised that they blasted. But what's worse, our people are out there protesting for it. And you still like, bro, how can you protest for this degenerate, man? For a nigga.
We're no innocent bystander, man.
But you know what? That's like just like in the time of Barabbas.
Yeah,
what did they say? It's a free Barabbas.
Fucking first degree murder. They wanted them to free him and kill our Lord. They didn't commit one sin. See how wicked our people can be, man? That's why the Lord don't give shit back to you first. Because you rather put a man to death, they ain't committed one sin, but you want to free a murderer.
Yeah.
That's probably committed how many sins on top of that murder as well.
Exactly.
You know, but you want to kill a man, an innocent man, ain't committed no one wrong thing. Even Pilate said this man, I'm washing my hands of this man. Pilate said this man ain't done shit wrong.
Yeah.
His wife even told him, leave this man alone.
Yeah.
She had a vision and said, look, leave this man alone. This man ain't done nothing wrong. These Edomites even said, leave this man alone. 2/3 of you niggas, kill him, crucify him and all that.
Yeah.
You know, that shows how wicked these niggas are.
Yep. And then that same breath, you cursed yourself. He said, let it be a curse unto us and our children. So guess what?
That's why Kaba got shot in the head.
Yeah, that's it.
Kaba's forefather was one of them niggas. You know, because this generation is the same generation that was there when the Lord was on the earth. So Kaba was back there. That's why he got shot in the head. He was there, you know, saying, curse the Lord and all that.
Yeah. And obviously the officer had to be put under, what do you call it? Suspension on leave and that. But the thing is, you know in the office they're like, bro, just sit it out.
Yeah, that's what they do.
He
got paid leave anyway.
Paid leave.
He sit down for like a couple months.
Yeah.
Till the shit quiets down and we'll just change the location. Hey, you be in another fucking district.
Cool. And then under the table they're doing a little spot. Yeah, good shot. Shot. Under the table.
That's a nice shot. Yeah. It does a bubbly swagger shot. Sheer.
Yeah.
Bubbly swagger.
Good thing, Jake plays COD, Modern Warfare 2 and all of that, but these cops, these cops actually live there.
They love all that COD shit, man. That game's really for them. Don't forget, man, all them simulation games, war games, they practiced that they was doing that shit in the armies way before they released that in the actual game. For you nincompoops playing on your PS4s and Xboxes. They've been having them simulation games in their war in their armies for years, man. They have them kind of simulation playing games and COD and all that shit. They've been using that type of technology, man.
On Netflix, on The Explained, they got an episode on lasers, right? And basically one of the things they've been wanting to do for the longest time is have a laser weapon, right? Which they finally done it. And I think they said like basically an amount of American warships now have lasers on board.
We'll show you that in that movie Eraser, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Can.
Laser guns and shit.
Yeah, but the reason why I bring it up because you was talking about games and all of that. When you actually watch the operator operating it, he's holding basically an Xbox controller. Basically, that's what it looks like.
When my one was telling them man to go find Osama, man.
Yeah,
it was on the simulation, man.
Yeah,
they was watching it on a big screen. Man, they're going in the simulation with drones, all that.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing, man. Then they hit the target. Yeah, we got him. And Hillary was talking about we came, we conquered. You saw and we conquered him. And he killed him.
That was Libya, Gaddafi.
Yeah. These all simulations and shit. They're playing, they got the drones and all that. Yeah, they're playing. It's a live game.
Yeah.
They're actually killing people, man.
Yeah.
You people got to sit in front of your Xbox, think you're doing something, hitting target. Yeah. These motherfuckers are actually killing people when they play with them joysticks, man.
Yeah. That's it. Let's continue on. It says, verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
But this is all going back to the fact that, and we're going to read back up again in a minute, the enslavement of the Lord's people, man, by the Grecians. Which it tells you that the Grecians, the so-called white people, enslaved the Lord's chosen people. This is why World War III is going to happen, because the Lord's going to gather all these nations that had us in slavery, that made their money off of us during the transatlantic slave trade. He's going to gather all these nations together, and he's going to punish them, man. one way or another, we all had, you know, captivity under all these different nations anyway. So Lord's just gonna kill two birds with one stone. Gonna get them all at once, man. That's like the perfect scenario, man. How am I gonna get all these motherfuckers at once? I'll just gather them all together, one place, make them blow each other to smithereens, and I'm gonna come in and add some more fire with the laser beam, man. The chariots.
What will life be like, right?
That's a beautiful judgment right there. Lord's killing two bones with one stone, man. And then after that, Esau's got to pay for what he did to us as a nation, man. So that's it. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
That's why World War III is inevitable. You can't. There's no way to stop a weapon in World War III. They show you that in all these Terminator movies. They tried to stop the Day of Judgment and all that. There's no way to turn the clock back. No matter what they did, it all led to that scenario, man. No matter what they tried to do, to try to save, it all led to Skynet and nuclear war. That's what it led to, man. Before and after. That's all it was.
What I love is in that film Knowing, right? You remember you had the
Last scene.
Yep, the final scene. But you know the with the woman and you had the woman and her daughter, right? But then the woman basically she tried to outrun the prophecy.
Car crash.
And and by trying to outrun the prophecy, she fulfilled the prophecy.
She was pissing me off. She kept panicking and you know, that's why women are fucking acid their liability, especially in time of trouble, man. That's why you don't really want to be around a lot of women. But you know, we're gonna have that anyway because Isaiah 4:1 needs to be fulfilled. But really, women are a liability, man. They're not assets, man. They'll be there screaming, making noise. Shut up, man. Cause the fucking enemy to find us, man. Straight up our spot and all that, man. Shut up, man. Screaming like a damn wild animal, man. You know what I'm saying? Calm down, man. That's why men deal with logic, man. You don't see men screaming in war. When men go into the battlefield, the only time they're screaming is when they're angry and they run into the charge and they want, you know, trying to boost themselves up with that testosterone. You know, they're angry and that's the only time you hear war cries and all that, man. Other than that, you don't hear men screaming like bitches, man, when a bomb goes off. It's always women. Little nail drops on the floor, woman screams. A nail. Anything happens, a little sound, man. Bitches is jumping in the air like, you know? The women are a liability, man. That's why in the time of trouble, man, we ain't really focused on you hoes, man. Just shut up. Know your role, man. Play your position, man. Ain't gonna be no little feminism and all that bullshit in that time. You women are gonna learn that you need a man to protect you. So you're just gonna drop dead. So, you know, damn feminism in that time of martial law. Bitch is gonna be screaming for help.
Okay, what did what you call it? What Kevin Samuel say? He was like, look, feminism is something you only get in the first world, right?
Yeah,
and then
people are stupid. That's right.
Well, but the thing is, you've got the police, because really, who enables feminism? Police, right? But in those days, they ain't gonna be a first world anymore. Everything's gonna be a third world.
Yeah, that's why they said purging season coming back.
That's it.
Commit murder, you can commit robberies and all that from January the 1st, 2023. You can purge and all that. You know, that's why they're bringing that back. It's gonna be totally lawless. Things are gonna go back to how it's supposed to be, man. Not how it's supposed to be, but this is gonna be you know, proper civil laws, civil unrest. It's gonna be laws of the citizens, man. They're gonna hold the judgment is gonna be in their hands.
Baiting them. Of course will be convened. The corrupt. Should be taken from their decadent houses.
It's yours.
Take it.
Exactly. And then in that same scene, you hear people was warring the police. The average citizen was warring the police or shoot each other, killing each other. That's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be worse than that. But it's gonna be straight up lawless out here. That just shows you these false laws of the land. Esau with these penal codes, man, is really bullshit, man. You know, the real laws of the land of the scriptures, man. That's how a man's supposed to conduct himself. You know? Look, Esau's just giving you free credence. Just go out there and kill. You know, how strong are these laws that he gave you, man? You know?
Isaiah 10 speaks about unrighteous decrees, man. Isaiah 10:1.
Those are definitely unrighteous decrees, man. He's breaking his own laws just to, you know, cull the nations.
Yep. Oh, because that's what was in the dream that the brother had, man. It was basically saying how what he observed was basically how they it appeared as though the martial law troops basically wanted the people just go at each other.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, they'd come up, clear the bodies or whatever, but they wouldn't stop people.
No.
Because
I noticed they do that when the riots happen as well.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a riot, they let people burn shops down. They let people throw stones and mess up and set fires and all that, burn cars and stuff. throw stones and stuff. They let them do it, and then they come out and clean up the shit after.
Yep.
So in that time, they're gonna let people kill each other, murder.
Yep.
You know, they're just gonna come in,
Yep.
probably put the close off the area and clean it up, and then open it back up again.
Yep.
And people gonna go back to killing and shit.
Yeah, but if I could say, and in the same breath, they've got the cameras recording it all.
Yeah, so they can go back.
So they go back and then
come and arrest you.
Yeah, come and arrest you. Be like, look,
Fuck your asses up.
is this you? You killed this person, that
Put you in a
person, that
concentration
person.
camp,
Put
man.
you in it. Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. And
Yeah.
that's why Esau gonna let. You're damn right. He's gonna let them people kill each other. You're gonna sit back and watch. Oh, look, he just killed that bitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
shit.
Camera though. So the camera's gonna be watching everything.
Yeah.
He showed you that in the Purge movie.
Yeah.
That the cameras around the whole city watching people getting murdered. You can kill someone after what, for 12 hours or whatever. As soon as it's morning, you have to stop killing. But what happens after that? Obviously, the police are gonna go around investigating who killed who. You know, where you dumped the body. You know, and then they'll come arrest you, man. Now, those people that killed those people in the Purge movie, they didn't just get away with it. They said that it was legal for 24 hours or whatever. But really, you know, they was investigating those people afterwards to find out who they killed and all that. You know, and some of them probably didn't even get away with it, even though that was a movie. But that's what Esau's gonna do.
Yeah.
He's gonna tell you, yeah, you can just go around doing what you're doing, but then he's gonna come in with the troops, man. Do you think he's letting you do that shit for fun?
Yeah.
Come on, man. What do you think the hour of martial laws was about?
Yeah.
You're gonna come in with a new order ab chaos. Order through the chaos, man. So he's gonna let you do what you're doing. He ain't gonna bring that order in, man. Them troops are gonna do more killing than you could ever do, man.
Oh yeah. That's it.
It's gonna be a license to kill for real. That's why Esau gonna let them just do what they're doing.
Continuing on, it says verse 3.
Yeah, we the prophets of doom, man. I don't give a shit what you people say out there. What you think? We are the prophets of fucking doom, man. Because this place needs to be destroyed, man.
Yep.
Fuck this kingdom, man.
Yep.
All that's left is nuclear fire for this place, man. That's all that's left for this place.
So it says, verse 2 again, says, I'll Lord to gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parts of my land.
So this is all about the payback, the great payback, man. This is part of Esau's punishment for what you did to the Lord's chosen, man. You have to pay. Ultimate punishment, man. The Lord gonna make you destroy your own kingdom with your own weaponry, and then you're gonna go and be enslaved by the ones that you've been hating on for the longest, man. The ones that you've been despising, calling niggers, monkeys, all of that, you know, colored, ridiculed for all this time. They're gonna be your new leaders, man. They're gonna be your new rulers, so to speak. You're gonna do the bane on you.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Power over me.
That was a seed and a half. Leave us.
Yeah. And then he still got shook.
Yeah.
So he just said, leave us. He was like,
Yeah, like, what kind of monster are you?
he was evil.
That's it.
Bane showed him like, look, there's levels to the evil.
You're playing for me.
Yeah.
The same thing with Yahweh, Satan, and Esau. Esau's gonna be calling up Satan and them. Right? Be like, look, man, we've been, you know, doing all of these sacrifices, and Satan's gonna be like, and that gives you power over me.
He's calling me Shy. He's worse than Satan.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Worse than Satan. How about that? That's it. You out there calling on Satan, these dark forces, like they're the greatest powers to ever hit the earth. What you do? Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is 10 times worse than Satan could ever be, man. Them demons ain't got shit on the Lord, man.
Yeah, they're taking notes.
Come on, man. You see when the angel slaughtered how many thousands of Jakes with one sword, man, just floating in the air. The Lord had to hold that angel back.
Yeah,
Satan didn't do it.
Can't. Also, the quote unquote the angel of death.
Angel of death. You know the angel that killed. Oh yeah, the angel of death in Egypt, man. That was the Lord's. The Lord came through slaughtering, man. How many millions of people died that night? The firstborn. You're talking about Satan, man. Now that's the greatest evil. The Lord's terrible, man.
Yeah. And one clip that epitomizes that was in The Witcher second season.
Yeah.
Right, where basically, you know, it's been out for a while, so spoiler. But it basically, there's a scene in there where basically they all of the kids in that village die, right? And the same thing. So you hear all the children are screaming, right? And then in a moment, you know, they cast a spell in a moment, boom, then it gets silent. And then a couple of seconds later, there's a large wail. All of the moms are like, what's happened? This, that, and the other, this, that, and the other. And it really epitomized what would have been happening in Egypt that night, right? you know, one because you'd hear, you know, you'd hear one thing, you know, one person scream, ah, then the city wakes up, you know, people, oh shit, what's happening? Oh, yo, and they come out, call their eldest son, yo, come check this. Yo, why ain't he answering? Goes into his room, ah, shit, my son. This, that, and the other. There's a great wail throughout Egypt, man.
Right. Yeah, that's the terror of the Lord, man.
Yeah.
People talking about, you know, that one's Satan, man. Satan takes orders, man. You people don't understand. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai don't take orders, man. They give the order. They give the order, man. You don't understand that, man. There's a difference between taking and giving orders, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai give orders of death.
Yep.
Satan only, he has to ask for permission to kill a person, man. So when the Lord and the angels, they're out there, they're messengers, man. They're out there to do the Lord's bidding. The Lord tells the angel, they're going to kill these 10,000 people. Best believe, the angel's going to kill every last person, man. He's going to slaughter every last one of them.
Exactly 10,000. Not 10,001, not 9,999. They're going to hit that number. Because the scriptures say the issues of life and death are the Lord.
Just like the flood that happened with Puerto Rico, and, you know, the hurricane. That was the angels, angel of the Lord, man. The earthquake, those angels caused that shit to happen, man. That was the terror of the Lord, man. So when the Lord wants to pour out judgment, he uses them angels, man.
The angels are just there underneath the ground. Yeah, shake it.
Shit, man. They don't give the buzz. They'll do whatever has to get taken out, gets taken out, man. They're doing the bidding of the Lord. Walking that damn weed, man.
Yeah, I've got two for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Sirach 18:3 says, "Who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will."
All things obey, man. Above and in the earth, man. All things obey, all principalities, everything.
Yep.
You know? Lord has total control over them. And that includes Satan.
But he is the king of all, and by his power dividing holy things among them from profane.
God is the king of all, man. So who's above the most? That's why it's called the Most High. One of his titles is the Most High. Who's above the Most High? No one, man.
Oh, that's one of the things I found very interesting in that demon's funeral, man. They call it the Most High Power. Basically, one of the titles was like Most High. I forget the last bit, but basically like Most High Queen or something. Most High, basically saying in England like the Most High position. That, and I was like, right, they gonna really use that title? You gonna use that?
That's why I said about the beast will speak many blasphemous words against
the
tabernacle. That's Esau. That's the fourth beast. You know, which goes into the Roman Empire, America as well. You know, like they speak very, you know, blasphemies against the Lord. That's part of that. How are you gonna call the queen of the Most High, a woman as well at that? So Edomite at that as well. Talking about she's the Most High. What? Whatever, man. That's worthy of a nuclear missile. That's straight up blasphemy, man.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that crook go and get searched out, man.
That's straight up blasphemy. That's why the Lord gonna get you Edomites. You love making them blasphemous statements. You don't care about the recourse, man. Like, you think there's no repercussions for your actions.
That's it.
But it's coming, man. That's why the Valley of Jehoshaphat's coming for your ass. You're gonna send your armies over there, thinking that they're gonna fight the war, and your bankers are gonna come out on top. You're gonna lose, man. And then you're gonna have to go through 1,000 years of hardcore. We're gonna get you Rothschilds, all you families, man. All your kinfolk, all of that, the royal families. They even showed a picture on the news the other day, the Dutch royal family, and them getting cursed out. That look like the fakest royal family I've ever seen. That shit look like a fucking comic book, man. Like they look so fake, bro. Like they even look like they just look like a joke. Like they just put them in a little suit and tie, and the daughter looked like some heifer. Like she just getting run through by, you know, the whole block. She looked like some blonde bimbo thing. Mother and father and the father and the wife, they just look like anybody, man. The son there, you know, little Edomite demon. Oh, that look like the fake of that. Oh, that's a Dutch royal family. Like it's just like the shittest version of the British royal family you could ever think of, man. Like, who the fuck is this? They was getting cursed out, man. They was getting cursed out.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? That's how the British people should have been really when the Queen died, man. But they people they're too simple.
They were under a spell, man. Hey, because there was that good lad from Scotland, man. Which, you know, this is the thing with everything can be all made up anyway. But there was that good lad in Scotland when basically they were taking our girlfriend through the streets of Scotland. And that good lad saw I call him a good lad. But basically he saw Andrew. He's like, Andrew, you're a sick old man, right? You're a sick old, and literally as soon as he cursed them out, the crowd are like, God save the king, God save the king, God save, like literally. I was like, what? I was like, yo, these are some robots for the some robots for the monarchy.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. When I saw that clip, man, of the Dutch family getting cursed out, I was like, yeah, man. I'm surprised they didn't throw stones at their asses, man, and break up their carriage that they was in. That was embarrassing, man. It's like fake royals, man. You can tell they ain't no real royal family.
Same with what do you call it? The Saxe Coburg golfers over here. You know, hey man, okay, I said it, man. Brother messaged me like, yo, Kana, bro. I see, you know what, William's son, man. William's son, that little, was it Prince George? Guy looks like a little demon, man. The big
He's
demon.
a little Charlotte as well.
Yeah.
She had a little horseshoe thing, like platinum diamond horseshoe, so she got from her granny. But man, you devils, I don't care how young you look, you're still a baby devil gonna grow up to be an older, bigger devil, man.
Yeah.
Look, I was watching them old videos of, you know, Boris, man, when he was a little rat running around. They showed little videos of him when he was a little kid, man, playing football and shit. He was a little demon. You can see he was a little demon.
I need to watch.
Yeah, they were showing a little pics when he was young, you know, playing football and all that, running around on the grass and shit. You see, he was a little baby demon getting ready, getting groomed to be in his role. You know, baby demon, look what he did to the Great Britain, man. Grew up to be an older demon and just totally fucked up the economy, man. You can't trust these devils, man. No matter how old these, how small these devils are, or how so-called innocent they look, should I say? Yeah. It's the same devil spirits that's in them, man. They're gonna do a horrific act. They're gonna do Cain and all of that.
Yeah. Scripture says,
the spirit which is in them is not upright, and that's the spirit from birth. Man.
It says, so they be born, they go for speaking lies, man.
Yeah.
Sounds you want to get you know, that's what they are, man. That's what they do. It's innate to them. The baby devils that are going to grow up to be bigger devils, man. That's all it is. Little William's son, he's going to grow up to be a bigger devil, man.
Yep.
He's down with the agenda, man. He might not know it right now, but he's getting groomed for it, man. It's the same way Princess Elizabeth, when she was a little girl, man, she was running around. She got groomed for her role. Yeah, man. She got groomed for a role by her daddy, man. King George, whatever his name was, man. She got groomed by her family. That's all it is. They're all a bunch of devils, man. No matter how young they look.
Psalm 58:3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
They're wicked, man. They're known as the seed of the wicked. These people are, as I said, keep saying they're in charge of the whole earth right now. Why? Because the Lord's giving them the power to.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the Lord gave them that power. He's going to relinquish that power too.
Yeah.
That's the point that we're at now. Esau is the end of the world.
Yeah.
Esau had to be ruling right now according to prophecy. That's why the Lord said the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, but he's the end of the world and we're the beginning of it that follow it.
And to really just show, as we read and has been read for the longest time, the fact in Daniel 4:17, but how the Lord gives power of the earth, right, to the bases of men. Because when you look at this Edomite, man, this is some weak ass dude. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. He had us in captivity. Rather, the Lord allowed him to have us in captivity, but he was scared of us. He was scared of us being around his woman, which is the thing. To this day, Esau's got a complex.
Scared, he's envious, he's jealous.
And you be around, you be around Edomites for whatever reason, right? And you can tell there's hate and jealousy in their veins, right?
They know they're weak.
Because they know they're weak. That's
nature.
That's why they always have to move in packs, man. They'll be around Jake or whatever. Jake will be being all smooth, and then Esau will come and try and mock, right?
They can't do it. They ain't got the spirit. They ain't got the flavor. They ain't got no soul. They're just dead, dormant, dead spirits, man.
Yeah.
No flavor in them. They make dead, stupid jokes.
Yep.
And they're a bunch of devils, man. They drink blood. And
they're constantly, what does, which goes to show you he's a homosexual, constantly talking about Jake's dick. It's like, bro, you hear these Edomites talk. At some point, they're gonna talk about dicks, and it's like, bro, Jake on the other hand talking about booty. Jake be like, yo, bro, she had a fat ass, though. Esau's like, oh, but I bet he's got a big. No, what the fuck are you talking about,
that, man? Why are you envying a man's body and all that, man? It's like your spirit's corrupt.
It ain't right. like you say, these are the rulers of the world, right?
Verse, the spirit of the leaders of this world. The Lord said He calls them to earth.
But and I was watching video Apostle Ricard did the other day, where I was speaking about how really in the rest of the world they're down with what do they call it, polygamy, man. A man having many wives. It's only Esau. He's the weirdo, the weird one.
He's scared. Don't want man to be a man.
And Apostle Ricard speaking about how basically, in these other Eastern nations or whatever, they're about that life, and it's true. I said, met certain people where it's like their grandparents had like 11 children or whatever.
They had more than one partner.
Worked with one chick. She was from Vietnam. She had like 7 siblings, and I was just there like, rah, kind. And the worst thing about it is, you should go show you the wicked spirit, right? The anti-child spirit, the anti-life spirit that Esau put here. People were kind of looking at her sideways, like, right, you got like there's something wrong with her. No, Scripture says in Psalms 127 from verse 3, right onwards, that basically children are an heritage of the Lord, right? It says in what verse 5, he whose quiver is full of them, right, is blessed. I.e., he that has basically lots of children, that's blessed, man. That's a blessing.
Edomites are against nature, we're against the natural order of things. The Lord made man to multiply, just like He made the animals to multiply. It was up to Esau, like he's been doing for a amount of years. He's noticed how the numbers of animals dropping dead and dropping extinct is dramatically climbed up to stupid numbers. Because the devil was in rulership, man.
The amount of humans having children has gone down in contrast.
Because the devil was sterilizing people through these damn jabs and all this fucking Medicaid system and all the food that we're eating. It fucks up your whole fucking your whole cycle, especially women.
And
it fucks up what I'm saying. So it's just like this devil is against nature, man. He's against the natural order of things. The Lord made man to multiply. Go ahead, Genesis 1:28. It says, "And the Most High, and the powers blessed them," should I say, because that's the Elohim. It says, and the power said unto them, "Be fruitful and multiply." So the angels, Yahweh shine the angels at that time, they made man in their image, and then they said, "Look, man, we're gonna put you here on this earth. Be fruitful and multiply, man.
Do your thing.
Replenish the earth." I'm gonna look at that word "replenish the earth" in a minute, and subdue it, to take over, man. This is like in Brightburn. There was a scene where the guy, Brandon Breyer, is getting the language in the ancient tongue, and it's telling him, the angel is basically the Elohim, telling him what to do. Take the earth, and subdue it. He was like, take the earth. And then he got his power, and his eyes started beaming like Cyclops and shit. Because that's what we're supposed to do, to subdue.
That's it.
So I want to look that word up in a minute. This is an have dominion over the fish of the sea. So man is over the animals. That's what the Lord made man to be. Over the earth, over the animals, on the earth and in the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. But that's the order. That's the natural order of man, to be above everything that's moving, man. All this and all of that. You know the other way around. Like dinosaurs too. Because back then they had a behemoth and all that. They had the dinosaurs. So the dinosaurs was in order. It was bowing down to man. But Esau, he had the animals, like they show you in Jurassic Park, they got the animals trying to recreate them, and the animals end up eating a fucking, investment and all that. Because you're a bunch of devils, man. You're doing shit you're not supposed to be doing. So the Lord said, replenish the earth and subdue it. Let me just look at that word.
No, but it's true, because even like I said, the reason I keep looking, because there was a little bit of a thing that I was just observing about how, you had one geezer, the Edomite, one Arab geezer. The Arab geezer, his woman was doing all of the woman stuff, right? But it just goes to show you just like how, in this world, in the Western world, everything is upside down, right? It may seem like a small thing, right? But that's really a role reversal, right? Which is what this devil is all about. He's all about that conspiracy. Yeah. 1.4.
Take it over, baby. That's it, man. You're gonna take this earth. Whether you fucking devil's life
or not. Go praise Yahweh Shem Yahshua, because the Lord is seeing the error that is on this earth. Because everything is upside down. Here it is. You've got these peasants. What Scripture says, Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter. I've seen servants upon horses, right? And princes walking as servants upon the earth. But here it is, the whole world, billions of people. I think said 3 or 4 billion people watched that event on Monday.
What servants upon horses?
Yes, literally.
King Charles and all that. He ain't no fucking king. That guy's a peasant, man. He comes from a line of peasants, the Bauer family.
Yeah.
The word Bauer means a peasant, man.
That's it.
So-called Rothschilds and all that. That's the line that he comes from, man. The line of devils, man. But they're the rulers of the earth. Those are servants upon horses, though.
Yeah.
They ain't the real princes of the earth. It's in the name, man. Yasha Allah means he's a prince of the power. So who should really be on the throne of Great Britain? Who was on the throne of Great Britain before these devils came in? It was Jakes, man. Jakes was ruling, but they're trying to cut that out of history, man. Like there weren't no so-called black people in Europe at the time or something. Like they just popped out of nowhere from Africa. Come on, man. We was ruling the whole of Europe, man. Where do you get all these Stuarts and all these top offices and these coat of arms and shit? That was all Jakes, man.
And all of that, right? Because one thing that I was hearing over the funeral, and that was kind of annoying me, was they kept saying, "Oh, the British know how to do basically not regalia, but a pomp, but like kingly pomp." I forgot the word they used.
Okay, I understand.
Right? There was the British know how to do that, and I was there, but I was like, yeah, that ain't you, exactly. That ain't you. We was reading it in Job the 30th chapter. You was just grunting out in the fields, man, because you saw the way that the men were dressed, right, with the with the attire and the clothing they were wearing, the regalia and all of that sort of stuff. Right, that was Jake, man.
That was Jake.
And
we cleaned you devils up
that's
during
it.
the Khazarian Empire.
That's it.
We was the ones that cleaned you devils up, man.
Because Jake, you can imagine you got some Edomite slaves, and it's like, yo, bro, you ain't washed in a month, yo, man, can jump in the shower.
I didn't know about bathing and all that.
Oh, don't forget during the Moors as well. Like what there's that picture, man, 4 times a day where you basically had the harem, yeah, and then you basically had them big booty white things. Well, now Jake ain't just gonna be fucking no stanky ass. You gonna be like, yo, clean up.
That's in the middle.
You know,
the woman's supposed to clean herself up,
exactly,
dip herself in the oils. They're supposed to take care of that before the man comes in and deals with that. You don't want him doing no stank, bitch.
Yep.
Want to smell them sweet scents, man. That turns the man on.
Because they did that with, what was it, Esther? Was it?
Esther, yeah.
She was good,
bathe in them oils. The woman had to clean them women up. Them women, even though they weren't going according to the law back then, but them women had to clean themselves up. They couldn't just come around the king, or the prince, But that's why we had them titles, the Stuart, all them titles that we had, man, back then, princes and all that, Esquire and all these different. Man, that was Jake's, man. What you devils, man?
Yeah,
you took that from us, man.
I was saying the proof of that is all the jewels, man.
All them jewels,
to this day, who rocks? You'll see Edomites that will have some kind of ice, and it just don't look. They might be trying to. It just don't look right. He might wear some high-end fashion, but when you look at him, it's like don't look right.
It don't come together.
But when Jake do it, right? When Jake's got the jewels, when Jake's got the crown, you see, Jake get Jake's got a couple million. What's the first? They ice everything out, man.
One because Michael Jackson, they called him the King of Pop, right?
Yeah.
So one of his pictures, he was wearing a crown, had the scepter, and all that sitting on the throne, but he had the shit tilted to the side, like it's like, and it's over the eye, like it's tilted. But the way he dropped it on his throat, it just look hard, like it's just like that's Jake, man. He still can't do that, man. That shit tilted, it probably fall off his head, man. It don't look right when you saw it. It looks fucked. Jake had his shit tilted like saying wearing an NY cap, man. There's a crown and he had a scepter. He looked proper. Looked like a proper how a king's supposed to look. And that's how Jake was during the Dark Ages, man. Yep. We made the shit look good. That's why we took so many pictures. We were painting, so Jake loved to look at themselves, man. They want to, make sure they, they look dressed right, they blinged out and all of that. Yep. That's why he had so many pictures that these devils couldn't destroy, man. Because Jake liked to look good and take pictures and remind themselves of who they are. That's why we always go around. Even to this day, Jake are the ones on the fucking phone, clicking this, clicking that, selfies and all that. Because that's what Jake do. But he hates all that, man. That's why he had to whitewash most of the images he could find. Some of them he couldn't because he took so many paintings and frescoes and shit. Esau couldn't destroy all the art, man. Because that's what Jake's into. That shows you that's not Esau wasn't ruling during the Dark Ages, man. They weren't ruling, man. They don't have the spirit. Because when they do their shit, they put big statues with a man with a small penis. All that gay shit, man, or he's butt naked and shit. You have those shit like that, man. We used to have statues, we man covered in, you know, regalia, looking all manly and shit, you know, with a beard, afro. You know, you devils are inferior, man, on all levels, man. But anyway, going back to Genesis 1:28, I got the word here for replenish, right? It's malah in the Hebrew. It says to fill, be filled, to fill, fullness, abundance, to be full, be accomplished, be ended, to consecrate, fill the hand, to be filled, to be armed, be satisfied. So that's what it is, man, to be fulfilled, to satisfy, complete. So the Lord gave us the commandment, to order, to fill this earth with as many human bodies as possible, man, with many souls of Israel, at that time was the sons of God, as possible, man. And there's nothing wrong with that. The whole earth, the whole earth was made to be replenished. He's still talking about overpopulation and all that. We need to cut the numbers, green population and all this. Bullshit, man.
Yeah. But that's why, once again, the scripture says that he is as death and cannot be satisfied.
Yep.
You know, because I think they're basically saying now in the UK, right, we're at a point now where the majority of women don't have children before the age of 30.
Oh,
so really that gives them what, 4 years, 4, 5 years, 4, 5, 6, 7 years for them to have a child. So that means they got just the one child, right? And those are policies pushed out straight by E, right?
It's a dying population.
It's a dying population. Whereas back in the old days, she got like 19, 20, right, 21. You know, she having children and this, that, and the other. Fertile, man.
Popping out them seeds, man.
Popping up, because that's what it's about, man.
Yeah. Then you have your kids, they grow up and they look after you, the elderly and all that, your parents and all that stuff. And then they grow up to have seed. And the cycle keeps going. That's what's called the cycle of life. Damn devil. You're trying to cut that off.
It's trying to push selfishness, because you see a lot of men and women. I would say a lot of you men are about that no child life too, right? But they'll be saying, oh yeah, you know, I'm selfish. I want to go traveling. I want to do this. I want to do that, right? But it's like, cool, man.
Because Esau's line's dying off and they're not replenishing like they're supposed to. They want to cut us down.
Yeah.
Because they know like in ancient Egypt, we was multiplying like fucking, like, you know, like crazy. Because that's how we are, man. You're like Ephraim, to be fruitful.
Yeah.
When we bust them nuts, we don't just bust one, bust plenty of seed, man, and the seed comes up and it grows. So that's like us, man. We just naturally, you know, you can kill how many millions of Jakes, to still be a couple million left. But Jake's always multiplying like that. You know, that's how we are as a people. It's the sand of the sea. It can't be numbered, man. No, that's it.
And we're going to get back to that when everything is right. This is Isaiah 60 and 21. Start from 21. So that people also shall be all righteous.
And we're going to be in our right order. You know, we're going to have everything going to be in this natural order again. Animals are going to be happy. The trees are going to be happy, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, scripture says Isaiah. Yeah. It says they shall inherit the land forever.
What land? Land of Israel.
Yeah.
On earth, but the land of Israel, man. Because that's the Lord's pleasant land. That's his favorite plot of land on earth.
Yeah. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in its time.
Yeah. Now, I remember the apostles saying the little one, not to talk about little guys, talking about, you know, the level of Jake, basically.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have, you know, men that are great in Israel, you're gonna have the average Jake, but they're still gonna multiply like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Jake, we gonna take over this earth. It goes to the point where we're gonna have to move to other planets because we're gonna be taking so much. There's not gonna be enough space for us no more. So we're gonna have to move to other planets.
And so it's funny. I actually brought that out in the in that demon's funeral. I was like, why the hell are they bringing that precept out? Yeah, in my father's house are many mansions.
Oh yeah, not for you then.
I was like,
that blessing is definitely not for you. I don't know why they rule that out. That's how you know these devils are fantasizing. They got a vain imagination.
And they're watching, man.
They got a vain imagination. You think that precept was about you, devils? Oh. You can Star Trek all you want. Yeah. You know, but that ain't never gonna happen. Elon Musk trying to do what he's doing. Yeah. That ain't gonna mean that he's down to this planet and that planet. You ain't doing none of that.
But they're all bringing out some precepts. I was there like, damn. They're watching.
That shows you where their biggest secret on the internet. With all the world leaders, the Queen Lizzie, Prince Charles, King Charles, They know about us,
Yep.
man. They know about the Israelites.
Yep. They even brought out Corinthians says in the basically we shall all be changed. I
Come on, that's crazy.
I was there like raw.
Surprised they didn't pull out the Apocrypha, man. Something said, "Good, this is the Maccabees." You know, what the fuck? That shows you, man. We're the biggest threat to this new world order, man.
Yep.
The Hebrew Israelites, no matter what camp you're in, you're pushing the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We're the biggest threat to these devils, man, and their new world order.
And you might as well just be with Great Millstone because at the end of the day, it don't matter whether you're with a world-friendly camp like IUIC because they don't care. The elites, when they're coming down, they ain't gonna care that you let women in the camp. They're gonna be like, look, you believed it. You're an Israelite. You're an enemy, man. Right? Can I just grab this real quick? It says John 14:2 says, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you I go to prepare a place for you.
So where's the mansions talking about? Lord, mansions is talking about the heaven. That's why you can't, just like the number of Israel, the nation of Israel, you can't number them and count them. It's like the stars of the heavens, man.
That's it.
The planets and all that, the Milky Way, Milky Bar,
Milky Way.
Milky Way, all the galaxies, space in general. You call it space because it's innumerable, man. You can't count space.
Yeah, and it's beautiful because one of the traps that the Lord set up for this devil was that, look, man, if heaven above can be measured, or the sea underneath measured, then I'll do away with Israel. Each time he goes into the heavens, he says it's expanding, man.
New planet.
New person. The Lord is Yahweh, so he's doing his thing, man.
The angels are there working, man.
Yeah.
It's been working. The Lord said it. He's been working, creating many houses in his father's, many mansions in his father's house. Yeah. That's the Lord's habitation up there, man. The heavens are the heavens, man. So you devils can't do nothing about that. And that definitely is not, that blessing is definitely not for you to inhabit. That blessing is only given to the sons of Israel, man. Starting with the elect. They're the only ones that's going to inhabit space, man. And go boldly where no man has gone before. You devils ain't doing it. You can only do that on a Hollywood screen, man. CGI, whatever you want to call it. Picard and all that. You ain't going out there like we are, man. Inhabiting different planets.
It's beautiful because all of these things that he is working so hard to achieve, the Lord is just going to give us.
Yeah. We ain't even going to ask. We ain't going to build no ships. Yeah. We ain't going to build none of that. Elon Musk doing all this technology and shit to try and get him to space. We ain't going to do none of that. The Lord's just going to give it to us, man. Freely.
We ain't going to have to be, what do you call it, like, because he's working on super soldiers. We ain't going to have to put no metal in us. No pills, no nothing. Which way he was given LSD for, in the CIA with LSD trying to mind read people and all that. Lord is going to give us. Because, Yahushua was able to, right? And the scripture says, rather Yahushua said, whoever he said, going to do, right? And greater, man.
Yeah, so the Lord gonna give us the power to do all this shit, man. Fly, manipulate the elements. We ain't gonna have to go to no science class. To find, do some laboratory work and take potions and shit, mixing up different things to find out how to, manipulate elements and shit. Like, Lord is gonna do it, man. In the twinkling of an eye, the Lord gonna change our bodies. We're gonna change us from these weak flesh to superhuman bodies, man. Overnight, man. We're just gonna be superhuman. We're gonna be like Supermen and super women and doing super like things. Hancock and all of that, man. You're gonna be out here, man.
That's it.
Like, what was I watching that? Elder Kazak. He said, you're gonna be busting through billboards, like Hancock. Bust through the billboards. So we're gonna busting through billboards and all that. Yeah, man. You're gonna take over. He's even saying in the hour of Jacob's trouble, like when the Lord endows certain men with spiritual power, certain people are gonna get visited, man. We're just gonna pop up and that spiritual power might do a disappearing act as well, teleporting act. All of that shit, man.
Yeah, because once again it was I believe it's one where it says Yahushua, then you just disappear from their sight or something like that.
Pop up at your door.
Yeah.
You're gonna see us be like shit. Yeah. And we're just gonna disappear on you.
That's
we might just put you to death.
Disguise appearance. Yahushua did that.
Come on, totally change our figure and all that configuration.
We're just gonna go to you all changed up, man. What do you think about them Hebrews? Yeah, man, fuck them Hebrews.
It's changed up. It's changing. All you see is gone. And you see, man, it's cold. He's gonna Brightburn. We're gonna be Brightburning a whole lot of people out here. The Lord endows that power, man.
But why? Because this world is wicked, man.
Yeah, man. He needs judgment, man.
We're at a point now where no one has an excuse. It says Isaiah 40:31. It says 40 and 29. It says he giveth power to the faint And to them that have no might, he increaseth strength.
Yeah, we're weak right now. We're dead, man. Our bodies are done. You know, you had this whole COVID fucking mayhem that was going on. You saw people telling people to stay in their house, put in prison in their own houses. People getting all overweight and all that, all kind of ailments. You know, not getting your vitamin D and all that. These bodies are weak, man. That was flaky.
That was a psychological and physical attack, man. Them lockdowns.
Being in prison in your own house for 2 years.
In your own thoughts and shit.
Can't go gym. You can't do this.
That's why they call it cruel. That's why they call solitary confinement cruel and unusual punishment, man. You know.
That was hell, man. But other than that, you know, we're just in these bodies, you know, always catching, you know, kind of sicknesses, ailments. No clean food. You know, the foods are all out of, you know,
all out of whack and
all out of whack. You know, no clean air. You know, all this shit, all poison and shit that we're eating and drinking every damn day. But the Lord's still keeping us, man. We're doing His work. You know, He said you should drink poison and live and all that. You know, so. But, you know, the Lord's going to renew us, man. Them that wait upon the Lord, so He's going to renew their strength. We need going to give us that power, man, that unlimited source of power. You know, that comes from the heavens of heavens, man. That comes from the Lord. Because when you're dealing with the straight up spiritual power, that's just pure energy, man. That's unlimited sources of energy, man. You know, that's access to the heavens of the heavens, man. Like, that's the Lord literally giving you that power. You know? So that's unlimited, man. Like they had that movie, Limitless. You know, when a guy had, obviously, he was taking pills and that, but he was able. He just got so smart and had much power, spiritual power, basically. You know, he could do certain things that he never couldn't do as an average man. That's the power that we're gonna have, man. The Lord gonna, you know, turn up that type of. Lord could just do it overnight. One day you could be just chilling. Next day you just walking. You just feel this abundance of fucking power on you. Feeling like Samson, man. Feeling like you could tear a fucking tree down and you could pick up a tree and swing it on someone. That's the kind of power the Lord's gonna give brothers, man.
Hey, because you know, sometimes I meditate on it and it's like, yo, you know, certain times you might see a Jake they're just through. Like they might be in a wheelchair all messed up. And that day the spirit might just jump and you don't even know you got the power. Spirit might just jump and he's like, yo man, get up. And you're like, oh shit. And a guy walks up, like, oh shit. You know.
A lot you see them bugged out Jake. The Lord might just put the power on you.
Do you believe in the Lord? So I believe you can stand up. He's like, yeah, but I can stand. Because at the end of the day, it ain't gonna be us for our glory doing it. It's gonna be how to glorify His name.
When the Lord was on the scene, he wasn't in the laboratory, you know, mixing up potions and shit. He just did it there on the spot, man. Walk in faith, man. That's what it was. And people were getting healed, even by the disciples' shadows and all that, man. They were getting healed because of the faith.
And then that built up the fame of Israel, or rather of Yahushua first. And then because they at that point they knew they were all Israel. But in this time, people are gonna be like, you know, you get certain people that were naysayers, right? But then they go and see the miracles, and especially you know, there's gonna be a lot of, you know, plays upon this world, right, real soon, right? So the Lord may have it whereby the you know, the men of the Lord are able to heal certain people from these plagues that are to come. You never know.
Definitely. Just like back then, the reason why the Lord gonna do that, establish that, it says glorify His name.
That's it.
It's not about us. It's about glorifying it. Whose name are you coming in to do this? And everyone gonna find out that it's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua that healed this man. Then they're gonna have to give it up. If they don't give it up, then you know, then that's on them. They're gonna have to deal with the judgment. But people are gonna realize that, you know, there is a power of the heavens, and the son's name is not JC. It's Yahushua Mashiach, and that's the power that's healing people, you know, on the earth.
And just like back then, you're gonna get certain people that are gonna be trying to heal in the name of JC.
The vagabond Jews.
The vagabond Jews, and they're going to put demons on them.
Jumping.
That's it. Verse 30, Isaiah 40:30 says, even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall.
Like brothers are still young. A lot of brothers dealing with ailments and shit.
Ailments we're like 56 years old. You know what I'm saying? So young men.
Even standing at the camp, you stand there for a few hours. After camp is done, you just feel like very like lethargic. You know, you feel like anemic and all that. You can't really move. Your body takes time to like re-energize. You know, because you've been standing stiff for such a while. You know, your bones are breaking down. Your muscles are just deteriorating. It gets hard on you, even for the youth, man. Young men as we are, you know, that's what happens. But the Lord say He's gonna renew our strength, man. It ain't always gonna be in His weak flesh, man. Lord gonna give us that strength that we need to endure unto the end.
That's it. It says, verse 31, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, and they shall mount up with wings as eagles.
Meaning we're gonna fly, man. We're gonna literally jump up in the air and start flying, man. They're gonna show you different movies. They had that one with Michael B. Jordan, I can't remember the title of it. And it was him and the other two white youths. It was flying and all that, and it was talking about the apex predator. I can't remember what it's called again. But it was Michael B. Jordan, and he had spiritual power, they could fly in it. And two other white. And then you had Hancock, of course. You know?
Because I remember when Hancock came out, they used to refer to the Hancock scripture, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Then it talks about running the sparks amongst the stubble. Remember to run like Flash. Like, we're going to get lightning speed type of spiritual power. We're going to be moving like, we're going to have power like Samson to defeat whole barracks of armies and shit. One man go through a whole army. Like, even King David and his 37 mighty men, they were doing that same thing. They were slewing whole armies of people, one man on their own, just going slewing a whole army of men.
But even as you're saying that, bro, and we're reading these precepts, just meditating on this is the benefit of choosing to be subject to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai as opposed to being subject to Esau. Because when you're subject to Esau is gonna say, "No, you can't go here." Right? Hey, right now you want to go to a certain place. What you got to do? You got to bring out your passports. You got to bring out this document, that document. Then when you go there, it's like, oh, will the plane leave? Will it be delayed? Will it be this? Right? When you're there, oh shit, will you end up being in lockdown, this, that, and the other? But in that day, we just gonna be able to just fly somewhere, man.
Yeah, that movie's called Chronicles.
Chronicles,
Chronicles, like basically that Book of Acts. Chronicles, stories. And that's what that chronicle means. Like a recording of stories, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be. Just like the Book of Acts all over again.
Yeah.
We're going to be speaking different languages.
Yeah.
You know, translating shit from guys. You know what I'm saying? Got Jake going to be coming from all walks of life, speaking their language, their tongue, and thinking that we don't understand. And then all of a sudden, the Spirit is going to come on, brothers. And we'll be able to converse with them in their own language, man. Yeah. And tell them the truth. Tell them Yahushua is the way, the truth, and the life. You know, and they're going to be like bugging out. Like, bro, how can you just speak my language all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying? Konnichiwa. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're going to be out here, man. We're going to put the Spirit on, brothers, man. Like, for real, we're going to be fluently speaking. Like, as a normal conversation. Like, we grew up in that village and all that. And that's what it is, man. Like, that's spiritual power. Yeah. Power over existence, man. Like, you know, elements.
Yeah, like you said, it's going to be natural. Because it's because you know when
just like the angel can speak any language. Translate any language.
Oh, but this is the thing, because this is the thing they show you in that Doctor Who, man. Right, in that Doctor Who, they'd what you call it, the TARDIS can translate any language, and they'll be in different planets. Oh, how can they understand that? I'm speaking English, whatever. But in that, they were actually going to be able to basically speak, and it's going to be natural. And the reason I say natural is because you may learn the language, but your intonations, your mannerisms, the way your mouth is even French, because that's one of the reasons why French is such a difficult language to learn, because them French devils, they're like, oh, your pronunciation is not correct, and all of that bullshit, right? But you're going to have that French mouth, because I've watched someone speak English and then turn to French, and when they speak English, they're like this, but as soon as they speak French, like their neck change. I'm like, bro. But in that day, the Lord's going to have it whereby we speak English like French,
some old ancient language in the village somewhere. We're just going to know it. That's not going to be talking like, we're just going to be talking back and forth and be like, what the fuck is he saying to him? I'm talking to his language. The scriptures talk about having an interpreter, a translator. You know, if you're speaking in a different tongue, you've got to have a translator, man. So that means that we're going to be able to speak different language. That's part of it. That's one of the gifts, right? Speaking different tongues. That's a gift. So that's part of having spiritual power, man, too. Because remember, Jake scattered around the four winds of the earth, so we're going to speak to all kinds of Jakes, man. During that time of Jacob's trouble and all of that, man. We're going to be coming into contact with all kinds of Jakes, and they might not even know English and all that. You know, and look, brothers have spiritual power. We're able to converse and say, look, man, all of the Lord have faith and all that in their own tongue. You know, that's the power of the Lord, man. It's all for the glory of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Anyway, it's not for us. As I've been saying, man, it's not to glorify us. We ain't got no power. We're just no vessels, man.
This is Acts 2. I'm just reading from the top points further down. It says, and when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place.
Yeah, that's where they got that Jubilee celebration from. They got that from the Pentecost, man. They used to call it the Jubilee, the Queen's Jubilee. It's turned into some demonic celebration, putting up a face in all these Stonehenge buildings and all that for some witchcraft ceremony. But then that Pentecost, that Jubilee that they celebrate, that really goes back to the Pentecost celebration. I think when you go back into that history. Right.
It says, and suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them.
Yeah, so that power came from the heavens, and then they started speaking in tongues, man.
Yeah.
They didn't know what was going to happen. The Lord told them that you're going to receive power. Mm-hmm. And that's when it came, man. That was the first example of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be honest, I love languages, man. You know?
Certain brothers are into languages. A lot of brothers that speak Spanish and all that, all these different languages. It's there to be learned, man.
And you can see just the power of it, just because even Lord's given me that gift where I'm able to kind of maneuver, Romanian and different languages, and you can see when people ain't expecting you, and then you can see the shock in them, and then they're immediately more engaged. They're intrigued. They're like, yo, how do you know? Right? But then in that day, we're not gonna say, look, I learned it. We're just gonna be like, look, man, the Lord gave me that power, and they're gonna be like, what? Tell me more. Right?
Use this power you're talking about.
Exactly.
Tell them the name of the Lord, man. Tell them
because they're gonna want a bit of it, and then the Lord may have it certain people that are meant to get it. You be like, look, man, hey, I can tell you've been going through some stuff, man. Right? And imagine hearing that in your own language, like, yeah, I've been going through them stuff. It's like, look, man, hey, do you believe?
That's the same. The name's Lord throughout the city, man.
That's it.
People gonna follow. They're gonna hear the name of the Lord, be like, who's this?
Yeah.
That's how they did it. The back of then, we had how many followers? 5,000.
Yeah.
Sealed in that day.
That day. And imagine nowadays when everything is bloody recorded, you might just be having that conversation. You got someone in the back just do this recording, right? And before you know it's all over the internet.
Viral.
Yeah.
Viral
and in that day they're gonna have to shut the internet down.
Shut.
It's
gonna be too late. Message has already gone out.
Yeah.
People gonna recognize it's those Israelites, man. They're gonna be like, oh, it's those Israelites.
That's them Israelites.
And they're gonna come. That's when people are gonna come searching even more.
Yeah.
Wherever they are, in any major city in any country, they're gonna be looking for the Israelites.
Hey, you said it will be too late. Remind me of V for Vendetta, right? When basically he was like, "Look, man, you can't kill an idea.
You can't kill an idea,
because you can't. Yeah, you can try, but even on a count, you might kill all of the Israelites. But guess what? What was it said? So look, we'll raise up these stones in their stead, man.
Inspiration.
Yeah,
that's the same thing that even when I was watching one movie, they were saying what was it called? Basically based on the Lord. But it's like a messed up version. It was called, what is it called, man? Not Crucified. It was called something else. And then that one actually said they actually tried to speak the Yiddish, like Hebrew. They said the Lord's name was Yeshua and all that in the actual movie. They didn't say Jesus. They said Yeshua. Can't remember the name of the movie though. But in that movie, the same thing. They said you can't kill an inspiration. But at that time, the Lord was crucified and all that, and there was rebellion in it. People were voting. The Lord's followers are still spreading the word, and it was like, yeah, you can't kill inspiration, man. You can't kill the idea, man. You can kill the people and all that.
Yeah.
But if the guy's been made a martyr, that's basically what happened with the Lord. It was martyrism, man. You can't kill that idea.
So
how are you gonna kill that? That's still gonna live in people's minds, man.
Right.
I'm trying out what that name of that movie was.
Yeah, okay. Let me carry on. It says Acts 2:3. It says, and there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost, and began to speak with other tongues, and the Spirit gave them utterance. Right? So just like that, in a moment, the Lord said, like, you lot can speak other languages, right? But once again, as we've been going into, this was all for the magnification of the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Once again, that's exactly what is going to happen in these times. Okay. It says, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven, right? Because Israel constantly moved, risen, can. But yeah, Israel's always moved around, man, right? Because especially once again, Jake like women, man. And what will Jake do? Jake will go to this place. You look at what happened in the time of Ezra. Right, Ezra and Nehemiah, they got pissed off at Jake, man.
Slewing Jakes.
Why? Because Jake was getting, because Jake was getting all up into a bit too much into these heathen women, right? But that's it. Jake, go here, they'll go there, go traveling.
Jake had to migrate. That's how it was. That's it. In the scriptures, they called it scattering. Diaspora, man. The Israelites that are scattered. Because we always scattered ourselves. Yeah. We was in Egypt, Alexandria, Egypt. That's not the motherland, but we was over there. During the time of the Greeks and all that, even before the Greeks, was over there. You know? So we always traveled, man. Even the Lord himself, when he was born, he went into Egypt. To hide from fucking, Herod and all that. Then they brought him back. So it's like Jake always migrated and intermingled with other people. That's what we just do. Even to this day. Jake is all up and you got, Russian villages with a whole bunch of Jakes catching hell over that racism and all that. Germany, all these different places in Europe where you wouldn't expect Jakes to be. They got little communities, man.
Then because of the whole bloody American military, you've got Jakes scattered all over the world, man. You got communities of Jake, in Osaka, right?
Exactly, in Japan.
In Japan and that.
YouTube video, Jake's moving to why I moved to Japan and all that. I used to watch them videos, man. Mainly because the women and all that culture.
I think they're called emojis or something like that. Them. I forget the exact name, but them so-called Japanese women that basically take on Jake culture. And when you see them, you're just like, these are just nigger women, man. Just nigger women, braids and that.
Look at the darkness or something. Look at Osaka. Osaka. But that's like, Jake's always migrated, man. Like, even during the time before Japan, like how it is now. Time of the samurais, that was Jake's, man. Jake was over there in Japan, doing their thing, swordsmen and all of that, martial arts, and then they were popping the women, had the samurai, ninjas and all that shit. That's all Jake's, man.
And the proof of that is, I think, in Psalms it speaks of David, King David, but how like he jumped over a wall. But what did they show in them samurai films? Where they do the legs and shit.
Drunken master type movies. All the movies, that's all based upon Jake, man. They love Jake. They always, like when you watch some Japanese like animes and all that, they always mention like the heavens and all that.
Spiritual power.
Of them, animes, they always mention like spiritual power going into the heavens and like I'm trying to emanate Jake. The majority of them those movie makers or anime makers that make those animes based on those hyper topics are Jakes, man. They just probably look like Gooks, man. I've watched a lot of animes, even most recently, like there was one that was based on the Dark Ages. And that was when Jake was ruling, man. How did they know all that history? Because they knew Jake was ruling. And they made an anime out of it. And you can see that it was probably written by a Jake that looks like a Ammonite, man. They knew that history. And it was all about Christianity. Jake during the Dark Ages. Come on, man. They didn't just make that up out of thin air. They studied that, man. That's how great of a people we are. Wherever we go, wherever we land, wherever part of the earth we are, we always make the culture greater.
That's it.
Mansa Musa and all that. Timbuktu. We always make the culture greater, man.
That's why any culture like the Bob was going into great history. Jake will have been there, man.
I said it a bit earlier. The Moors took over Spain, Italy. They made the shit greater. Came over, took over shit. Look at that, man. Harems, all that, bear holes, doing their thing.
Different holes, different area codes.
Yeah, we're just in a forced religion, but we took over shit.
That's it. Hey, and one of the things with Japan as well, Japan's got a great history of like ancient technology. Right, and one of the things I'm just there like, bro, that weren't you. You didn't have that wisdom. Well, like when you see certain of the buildings that they built and they ain't no nails. They didn't use any nails to build, but it's strong and it's still standing. And it's just there like, bro, man. Hey, where you from? Italy.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
okay.
Novella Dan? South?
North.
Oh, north. Yeah?
Okay. Udinese. Okay. Well,
He
straight
could
to
be
the.
a child, man. He could be a Jake. You
Yeah,
never
it
know.
could be a J. That's
Jake in
it,
the
man.
north and the south. We just talk about the
Yeah.
Moors.
Yeah,
The
but
Moors took
he's
over
always
Italy
out
as
here.
well.
He's always out here.
Beefing, innit?
Just Jake
Beefing up
suffering. Yeah.
You know that Harry,
Gun.
on the beach, brothers, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, he could be a child.
Like you said in spirit, because we're literally just talking about the Moors. That is the spirit.
I got feeling south.
Yeah.
No, brothers, I've been, central.
Yep.
Of Sardinia and all that shit. Italy. No, but that's like, Jake's always been in those lands, man.
Yep.
Rome was in Italy, right?
Yeah.
So Jake's always been over there. So Jake's definitely left sea still to this day. You know, we didn't just get expelled from the land and there's no more Jake ever again.
Yeah.
Jake's always moved around, man. That's why Isaiah 11, if you want to get it. Jake gonna come out from all forms of every walk of life, every country on the earth. There are Israelites, man. And Esau doesn't know how to deal with it. Because this truth is going around the four winds of the earth by way of the internet.
Yep.
And Jake's are waking up in
Everywhere.
fucking Philippines, man.
Yep.
You got a group of Filipinos
Yep.
that are pushing the name of Yahweh Shai in the damn street right now.
Yep.
They know the name of Yahweh Shai. They're out there calling themselves Hebrew Israelites.
Yep.
And they're Filipino, man.
Yep.
Esau can't stop that.
Yeah, which is why he had no choice but to change it from PHI.
Yeah.
Right? Because there was too many, man. Because people were like, wait, they're calling them back. But what about that brother over there? Let me just finish this off in Acts 2 and I'll get Isaiah 11. It says, and there were 2 and 5, it says, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
So Jake was intermingled in every nation because as we was talking about the Hellenistic period, Jake was, intermingling with all these other nations, following their trends. The Alexandria Jews would be in Egypt, but they'll come over to the land of Israel to keep the high holy days, man. 3 times a year they'll turn up in Israel.
That's it.
So that's part of the different devout Jews that will come every year to the Holy Land.
That's it. It says, now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and they were confounded, right? It says, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they all were amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? Yeah. Right? And it's once again, it's going to be like that because how has Esau portrayed Jake throughout the world? Right? Here it is, Jake, some of the, when you let Jake alone, right? Jake are some of the most intelligent people, some of the most artistic people you're going to see. But what's the only image that gets advertised of Jake throughout the world? Right? Jake being degenerates, man. Right? So then they go and see Jake doing some things, and then at first they're going to be like, "Raw, but I thought these were just niggas." We're the gods of the earth, which is why also it says in Wisdom, the 5th chapter, right? Says we fools accounted his life madness and to be without honor, right? But the Lord is going, because once again, it's all about the glorifying of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? The Lord's going to basically have his, his chosen men, right? That are going to have certain, some men are going to be healing, right? People going to be like, look, man, hey, I've been sick all my life. But they were sick for that particular purpose, just like in John the 9th chapter, you had that individual that was blind from birth, right? Just so that one day Yahushua will come, man. Which to be for Yahushua himself healing you, hey, that's a blessing in itself, man.
The Lord himself.
Yeah.
Blessing. Can't get any better than that.
Yes. Because the apostles, they healed certain men, in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But for Yahushua himself, that's why in the kingdom it's going to be such a great honor that Yahushua himself is going to put a crown on the elect.
That's an esteemed honor, man. You're talking about some Queen Lizzie and King Charles being crowned a new king. And they don't know what being crowned by royalty really is, man. We're going to get crowned by the royal of royals, man.
Yep.
The King of Kings, man.
Yeah.
The Lord himself.
Yeah.
We actually put a gold crown on each brother's head.
Yeah.
And it ain't gonna be stolen gold either, man.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be no stolen jewelry.
Righteous jewelry.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Incorruptible crowns too.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be done by no corruption, no ill-gotten gains like these devils have done. They're gonna be incorruptible, man. There's the people was talking about the outfit King Charles was wearing. He had the one, the coat of arms, whatever. that has bare medals. Like that nigga weren't in no fucking army. Where did he get all them medals from, man?
Yeah.
He ain't no real royalty.
Yeah.
He ain't fought in no front line of no war.
Yeah.
You know, he ain't done shit, man.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You said that in past. I don't know if you said that in past or whatever, but that's actually was quite a deep statement you just made there, bro.
About I heard someone else say that in the videos. That's true. Because these devils, they wear all that regalia, but these devils ain't fought no major wars. They ain't been in no armies. Like, how you get all them medals? Like,
well, I was talking about what you're talking about, the crown.
Yeah, the crown as well.
The crown is like, bro, like, because that is Ian as a whole. He's wearing his crown, but the crown is stolen. Yeah, it's a stolen crown. Right, because that is his spirit, right? He goes around and he steals, and then he lords it in front. Because you had them African, so-called African leaders, and they're looking at this crown, but that crown has jewels that that's from them, that has been stolen, right? But we're gonna have crowns, and those crowns are gonna be beautiful. They're gonna be pure. They ain't gonna have no stolen. No Edomite's gonna come and say you stole that from us. Right, no heathen's gonna come and say anything of that was stolen, because it's gonna all be handed in righteousness, man. You know, that's beautiful, man. That's worth waiting for. That's worth dying for. If anything, man. Yeah, you have to. Be crowned by the Lord. You wouldn't want to do that. That's it. This is Isaiah 11:11, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. That's a small number compared to the nation of Israel and the entirety, man. 2/3 ain't gonna make it. But the elect, they got the baton's gonna be passed on to them. Yep. They're gonna carry it on into the kingdom, man. Bring and replenish the earth and bring back the nation. That's why we have to replenish the earth to fill it up, complete with abundance again, like that breakdown of replenishment. We're gonna fill up this earth again with the nation of Israel. So it says, again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Amath, and from the islands of the sea. So that's all the lands of the earth, man. Jake's gonna come from every walk of life, man. Literally, man. You know, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, all the tribes, man. Scattered, literally. Especially those top three, because we walk throughout Europe. Yep. So Judah, the house of Judah, is literally scattered around the four winds of the earth. Yeah. You got Jakes that don't even realize that they're Jakes, man. Yeah, you're gonna have Jakes that straight up hate so-called black people, but they're Jakes themselves. They're Jakes, they don't even realize. They don't realize. They're hating on their own. Yeah. It says, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the out sign. The sign is this truth. Through Yahweh Shai, he's the light. That sign's been set up, man. That's why we're pushing this word to wake the tribe, to gather the lost souls, the brethren around the four winds. They told you that in Baruch, man. The word of the Holy One. Yep. It says, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Judah is dispersed. Literally around the four corners of the earth. Yeah. That means Jake was getting down, man. Yeah. Jake was planting seed in all these different nation women, plucking, even in the ancient times up until now. Jake's been doing that from time upon time. Yeah. All these different kingdoms, man. From the Babylonians all the way down to now. Jake's been plowing different women, man. So Jake's out there. Hey, I went, what you call it, one geezer I used to know, man. What you call it, tall Jake, but super talented. Jake looked like a Hamite, super talented, but he was a Jake, right? He went Australia, then went New Zealand, found himself a little Ammonite, and now he's over there in the land of Japan, man. Three different places, you know, taking over. Exactly, you just like you're saying, Jake travel, man. Yeah, that's not the only woman he laid with. Yeah, other women as well in that time. Yeah, he was in Australia, New Zealand. Yeah. He's probably laid with how many different women, but that's the one he settled with. That's it. You know, baby moms and all that. That's it. That's what Jake do, man. It's like, come on, man. Jake ain't fulfilled with just having one woman, man. Jake's never been fulfilled. That's why niggas always say, black men cheating, all that. It's not cheating. It's just, options. Exercising our options. Yeah, exercising our options, man. Jake like to fuck. That's all it is. It's not nothing wrong with it. Nothing illegal about it, as long as you're not intruding on another man's peace, man. Or sleeping with another man's wife and trust.
another man, you know, woman that's betrothed, you can't sleep with that. That's adultery. If there's nothing to do with that, you can have free reign, man.
What you gotta do.
Look at them Benjaminites, man. They love popping out women, man.
Yeah.
Even though they're committing adultery as well, but they love popping bare women and just planting seed.
Yeah.
You got, you know, that's one thing. They call them the yardies. Yeah. And the yardies are known for this popping bare women and dropping their seed, man. Yeah. Dreadlock wearing ass niggas, man. You know, that's what they're known for. The yardies for that. They ain't for smoking weed for that. So, but that's Jake and his.
They're not. And bro, like the bro saying nothing wrong with that, man. They try and make mockery of this guy Nick Cannon, right? By having all of them showing, ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah. They even showed a video of Young Dolph. You see that video? Got 22 wives with him sitting on the porch, man. Where he's sitting down, and some of them are sitting, some of them standing. All these wives, man. Like 22 of them. Young looking as well. All good looking. Yeah. And he's got like, I think it was 11 wives and 22 children. But they're all just there standing on the porch, and he's like, yeah, man, this is me, man. Yeah, and people don't understand it, but you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. We ain't in the time of it now, but there's nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah. Like now,
as long as you're taking care of them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because that's where Jake starts going on, because they'll just put women and
like the Jamaicans, as I was saying. Take care of your wives, take care of your kids.
Yeah. It says Psalms 127, because we quoted it earlier on, I'll read it next time. From 3, it says, lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward.
So that's a blessing, man. You can have abundance of kids. Women in the ancient world, they was crying when they couldn't have kids, man. They was crying like they wanted to drop dead. That was a curse when you couldn't have left barren and all that. You couldn't open the womb of a woman and she couldn't bring forth your seed. That was a curse, man. Even in the Dark Ages, it was saying that, you know, a woman was found barren, she couldn't have a youth. The king would be pissed, man. He'd have to execute that bitch, man. He'd have to kill her because she can't carry on the seed. So what are you here for? There's no need for you to be around me, man. You can't even bear my seed, man. And the woman will try and hide the truth. She'll probably have to try and get a surrogate, try and say that's his kid and all that. Instead, you know, they'll do some like betrayal type shit. They show you the medieval films and, you know, programs and shit, you know, because that was a shame for a woman to be left barren, man, and not be able to bear the king's child. That was a damn shame, man. That's like, what are you here for then? What's your use?
It says, as arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Oh, happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with enemies in the gate.
Yeah, why? Because they're supposed to carry on their line. They carry on the father's line. They take on the father's name. Keep the lineage going. That's why it's a great thing to have kids, man, especially males. So, because they can carry on plowing and bringing forth that line, man.
Hey, but in this world, man, you have children, man. You don't. I believe
they don't even belong to you.
They don't belong. They belong
to the government,
the state. Yeah, that's why. Would you call it when your child, you know, says, you know, certain things you don't agree with, and you try and correct them? What can Esau come and do? He's gonna come and be like, look, man.
Take a kid and give
yeah, exactly, man. You know, this is all messed up, man. That's why.
That's why it's a blessing, really, now in this day and age, not to have too many kids. Have a kid at all, man. It's a blessing right now not to have them, because we're in captivity, man. In the kingdom, though, that's gonna be like nothing.
Because from the moment you hear that your woman's pregnant, it's hell.
Yeah, you already know what's gonna happen.
You know, because and brothers have told me stories about, you know, that I've had children here in the UK. But you know, they got certain checkups. You got posters that are like, is your man abusing you? Is your man doing this?
It's fucking indoctrinated.
You know.
Turn on the husband.
Exactly. But what we're saying, would you call it? You know, he's at the you know, place with his missus and that. And then how the nurses weren't even talking to him. It was basically as if you weren't there. You know, you was there like, oh yeah, cool. You know, so you know, do you want to do this? And the guy's was just there, like, yo, hey,
I didn't make this baby.
Exactly. Is this not mine? You know, no, but
yeah, they just look down upon the men.
Yeah,
it's about woman worship.
I don't know what the law is now, but even to get your son circumcised, apparently you as the father cannot just take your son to get circumcised. The mother has to be there. You know, so now if let's say, you know, the spirit of Satan jumps on the woman you got pregnant, and then she don't want your child to get circumcised or whatever, ain't nothing you can do about it. You know,
kingdom needs to be destroyed, man. Because there's no order, straight up disorder in this place, chaos, man. Off that one thing alone, man, this place needs to be taken down. You can't circumcise your kid. You know, she want your kid to just be unclean.
That's it.
That's wicked, man.
Yeah, because and the thing is with whenever he has these movements, there's always some kind of wickedness, because they you know, you got these men going their own ways, right? They're like, oh, there's certain laws to protect women that don't get applied to men. Like, you can't mutilate a woman, talking about, you know, them fucking Hamites yeah. There's like, whereas you can, you know, men, little boys can get mutilated. I was just there like, right, yo, Esau's the devil. You know, the way he wove that in, I was like, yo, this man's the devil. Yeah, would you look at that? Would you look at that?
Which is not supposed to anyway.
Yeah.
I can't do that. That's against human rights.
FGM, female genital mutilation. Yeah, which but that's a custom of the heathen.
Yeah, that shows you there's a, you know, double standards in the society, man. But more or less favors the woman over the man.
Yeah,
they got bare things that they can do and get away with, not be held unaccountable for. But if the man does it, seen as toxic, seen as, you know, mutilation, and seen as abuse.
Remember, I forgot who it was, but there was that celebrity years ago that basically cut off her husband's penis or something like that. I forgot the name.
That's not the first case either.
Yeah.
There are cases of that.
But you had basically like these women that will basically make a mockery of the whole situation on television. I forgot the Lizzie something like that, man. Liza Minnelli, I think it was. Cut off a man's penis and that, or you know,
spreading seed.
You know, and then basically they were just laughing at that. But a man do that, you know.
In the scriptures, a woman spitting on man, or kick him in the nuts, she's supposed to be put to death.
Oh yeah.
Let alone cut off his fucking nuts, man. You know.
If she touches, if her husband and that man are fighting and she touches the rod of that man, her hand's supposed to get cut off.
Judge for it. You know, but in this kingdom, women can get away with murder, literally as well, and not be held accountable for shit.
This is Jeremiah 31:22. How long will that go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
It's whole society. That's Babylon the Great, land of confusion where women can compass men, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, when it's just breeding nothing but chaos and disorder, man. Dysfunctional households and all that, man. It trickles down. That's a trickle down effect, man. You give power to the woman, and look what happens, man.
Get this place.
Get feminism, all this bullshit. First world doctrine of madness, people. You know?
Because that's the thing, the whole alphabet people, the key point in that was feminism. Because who were the ones that are that prop up the alphabet? These damn broads, man.
First. Advocates.
Advocates. But I'll be what you call in the office, and I'll just be watching these you know, the moles will walk in, and then the girls are all running up to the moles, giving them all of that. Yeah, I'm looking, I was like, it's like you're wicked, you're wicked, you're wicked, you're wicked.
Young when I used to see girls always embracing that faggot.
Yeah.
We're the only ones embracing that homo shit.
Yeah.
The most. Then it spreads to the men, because men want to get with the galley, so they're gonna get down with the program.
Yeah. Because then the chick is like, oh, have you got a problem with it? No, babe, I don't got a problem with it, babe. Nah, fuck it, we got a problem with it, man. That's it.
Many men have gone out there with women.
That's it.
These women they have power they don't even understand they have. They can easily influence men, man, nations. Women cause fucking wars, man. Men have fought over fucking women. And look at that movie Troy, man. Harris, man, he caused a whole war because he wanted to sleep with another man's wife, and fucking got his brother killed, man. He got his brother smoked by fucking Achilles, man, because he wanted to pop another man's woman, man. Harris, man, in that movie Troy. You know, he started a whole fucking war when there was peace. And the brother was telling him, "You fought war to our father's house. Do you know what you've done?" And all that. And he was just like, I love her. You don't know what fucking love is, man. You brought fucking war to fucking the father's house because of some harlot you wanted to sleep with, man. You know? And then at the end of the day, you probably weren't even with her at the end. She probably got put to death or something anyway. What was that all for? Nothing. But then this same cunt, Harris, was the one that killed Achilles, man. I couldn't understand that. I couldn't eat that, man. This same piece of shit was the one who struck an arrow in Achilles and killed him. I'm like, nah, man, this piece of shit killed Achilles. Joked him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happens. I'm giving an example. Wars can start because of fucking vagina, man.
Yeah.
That's why half of these niggas are in jail, man.
That's it.
Oh, PNB got put to death because of a woman, man, and a simple self. Was just saying, you know, that looks ritual sacrifice. Probably was because they're involved with empire, the business, whatever. Involved in a lot of guys with that record label got sacrificed basically in recent years. So it could have been, but either way, the woman's a snare next, man. These women are demons, man. J Lo has to understand these women are walking cesspools of demonic energy, man. You got to be able to control these bitches, man. They're demons, man. Some of this worse than others, man. Not all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman.
Oh man, what chicks would do certain shit you could even, man.
But imagine, man, the shit that they think of doing as well, man. They conspire to do wickedness all the time. That some of this more demonic than others, man. Especially if you deal with a black heifer named a nigga woman. She's the worst of the world. You deal with that. You better just, buy a coffin. And all that. You better set up. You better get a will and all that stuff, man. She will lead you to your death. The nigga woman is the worst of the worst. Eve, bro. Eve is the worst of the worst, man. You gotta stay away from these nigga women. Boss has been saying that shit for years. There's so many examples of brothers, not brothers in the truth, but brothers like Jake getting fucked over because of the nigga woman, man. End up in jail or end up dead. PNB is dead because of a nigga woman, man. He's dead. He's in a coffin right now. It says we all die because of the woman. She brought death into the world, man.
This is First Ezra 4 from where should I start? I'll start from 20. A man leaveth his own father that brought him up in his own country. Funny, because it's speaking about Jake moving around, Jake like, my babes, she's
even the Lord, man. Lord was in Galilee, then went to Nazareth, Bethlehem. He was born in Bethlehem. He went to Egypt, he went to Galilee, then Nazareth. Like, come on, man. Even Lord migrated. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, we all move around.
Jake moved around, man.
Yep. It says, and cleaveth unto his wife. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father. Let me read that. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do you not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? And you had that. I forgot whether it was Rock or Chappelle. It was. I think it was Chappelle made the joke. But if a man could get boxed, whilst living in a box, he wouldn't work. But these chicks, you hear these stories. Everything was good, but then he lost his job, struggling to get a new job, and all of a sudden she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna leave or whatever." Stretch. But that's that whole thing about what the scripture is saying here, right? So do you not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman?
See, that shows you that there's no such thing as equality. That precept right there shows you that a man is supposed to toil and work. A woman's supposed to keep her ass indoors, man. Ain't no equality of woman working, trying to be equal to a man. 50-50, like, no, 50-50. Scripture just told you, man. The man's the one that toils and brings home the lamb, not the bacon, the lamb and all that, man.
The venison.
The venison and all that. The woman ain't supposed to be doing that.
Hey, what do you call it? Speaking of, I was thinking about man, escape me.
But if you say that now, you say you're stuck in a time capsule. You're stuck in the past. But the past is present day. The past is how man is supposed to be. Shit ain't changed because the times changed. It's supposed to be the same way throughout history, man.
Things are gonna revert back to that real soon.
What is your problem, man?
I was telling you, I watch because I watch all comedy on Netflix, man. So that's what I like doing. But I was watching that Ali Wong, man, and it's funny. Like at her first special, she's very timid, but as obviously she's gotten more and more money and is now significantly out earning her husband, saying more shit. But it's even which and one on they get given personas to be, but the energy from like the most recent one, where obviously at this point she's making millions or whatever, and is now supporting her, like she's now the main breadwinner. Yeah. Some of the shit she was saying about her husband, basically, I was watching, I was like, raw. Yeah, his husband. I was like, raw, okay.
She was actually talking about sleeping with other men.
Yeah,
married. What the fuck?
Yeah, I was just there like, raw.
Like, what the fuck? Why are you married? You talking about sleeping with other men?
Yeah, huh?
So she's obviously doing it.
And that's what happens in that Hollywood anyway.
Yeah, she's getting passed.
You know. But yeah, no, I remember just watching. It made me think of the scripture: "She that maintaineth her husband." And the reason why I brought that up, because you're speaking about all of these different chicks that get these roles, because that upsets the balance of the household. You know, that's what I was thinking about. Because this individual before her husband used to be like a Harvard business breadwinner and that making bank, right? But then now she, what you call, is making all the money and shit. Now it's on reverse. Yeah, and it's the same thing. You'll be having that in these households where you be working, then your woman gets a promotion and a promotion. Now you got to babysit. Now you got to babysit. Yeah, she gets pregnant. She's like, yo, babe, if I give up my job, then we broke.
Yeah, but you become the sinner. She becomes the one wearing the trousers. You got to take orders, and she ain't gonna listen to you. Yeah, because you're not in the breadwinner position.
That's it. That's
bringing home the left. Yeah.
Once again, that's why the scripture says, "She that maintaineth her husband is full of much reproach."
Yeah, that's it. She's not attracted to you no more. And that's when she goes around looking for actual men that can take care of business. And that's the doctrine.
That's it. And any boys that's ever worked in them office type environments, man, you see how nasty those. Yeah.
She literally got married 2 weeks ago, but she's in the office, flaunting herself, and she's even got like guys coming into the office screaming her name, looking for her, and she's actually pleasing the time. This guy is kind of like a degenerate.
Yeah.
But she has to hide now. Every time he comes to the office, he's screaming her name. Because she's out there flaunting her stuff. Yeah. And she's got a fucking husband, man. Yeah. And she even tried to throw it on me, like, now I have to put it on her.
It's like, whoa.
Expose her, I said, they didn't get married like a couple of weeks ago. And she just gave me that look, like I didn't know or something. Yeah. They sent an email out saying she's got married.
Yeah.
So I just put it in her face.
And certain times,
she's trying to throw that flaunty spirit around the office. And I'm like, let's put it in the past. I didn't get married recently.
Yeah.
Because just give me that look like.
Yeah, because real talk, certain times they try to hide it.
Yeah.
So that they can continue in
their office in her high heels, skirt and all that, in the heels and all that, she can't do no wrong.
Yeah.
She's some horny fucking figure, But she got a fucking husband, man.
Hey, one time I straight had to send up a prayer to the Lord to remove because I remember there was one. She tried making me, because they got that same work husband. She tried making me a work husband. Yo, I'm like, whoa. But that's why they shouldn't be in them environments. That's the point that we're trying to get at.
That's why these women are supposed to be working, man. They come to work
on
some adulterous spirit, man. They want to flirt with other men. All that in the office and that is wicked, man.
Yeah.
You don't even know your wife's doing that at work, man.
And the thing is, then you'll get other men that are just straight trying to fuck. And that's
they'll do it as well, because they're just heartless, man.
They're heartless.
They'll just go in there with some more shit and just like, bang the girl in the toilet away.
Yeah.
She got a husband at home, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? This bitch will just do it as well.
Yeah.
You don't think twice about committing adultery.
Especially if she, let's say she's like a mid-level person.
Yeah, and she's never been with a black man before.
Yeah.
Especially like a white woman. Bitch, I'm talking about the white woman. I can tell she's never probably been with a black man before. So she's just getting freaky, coming out. She's trying to exploit that. Man, let's cut that shit off.
Yeah.
You got a husband at home, man. What the fuck you doing, man?
But
you tell your husband now and put chop your head off, man.
Yeah. And that's one of the many reasons why we pray for the Lord to come back, because it's all out of order, man.
Married 2 weeks, she's already thinking about sleeping out already.
Yep.
Like that shows you that whole marriage thing is a facade, man. Mm-hmm. These women out here, they ain't no virtuous, righteous women on this side, man. These women are all heifers They're all harlots. Wives should be harlots in the city.
Yeah.
That's what you got right now. You just gotta pick the best of the worst. You don't put all your eggs in one basket thinking, oh, this woman's so great. Like she'll never cheat on me. These bitches will all cheat, man. You know, these bitches are all fucking dangerous beings. They're all snares and nets, man. Can't trust none of them, man. Literally, man. God, bitch that just got married a few weeks ago. She's already got that spirit of adultery on her ass, man. Like, what the fuck, man? Fuck getting married as well. All that married shit, bullshit. Married for what? Signing no damn contract for the government.
Yeah.
You know? That's bullshit. We gonna go back to the ancient way of doing things, man.
Yeah.
Likes you and I wants you.
Consummate the marriage by popping her, and that's your wife, man. You have to look after her for the rest of your days.
That's it.
We ain't gonna die anyway, so we gonna have her for. She ain't gonna die either, so we just gonna be together forever.
Which has a better deal than what Esau offers, you know? Because what Esau offers you is a contract which can be broken, but with no real reason. I remember one chick was like, "Look, man, I'm having to pay my divorce lawyer while still paying off my wedding."
All this hell, all these catch-22s, man.
Yeah.
These small prints.
Yeah. So back in First Ezra 4:23 now says, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, and to sail upon the sea and upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion, and goeth in the darkness, and when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, bringeth it to his love.
There you go, man. That shows you the importance of having a woman. Man, that's the glory of a man, though. Yeah. Man's glory is his woman, so he'll do everything for the damn woman, man. Niggas go to war, like, literally, not illegal wars. I'm talking about America, man, because they go and fight to protect women and children. They always say that patriotism of America, they do it because they're trying to protect their women and children. So men will actually go to war, in a legal war, to kill another nation because they want to protect what's at home. They want to protect their woman and child, man.
Yep.
So that's what that scripture's talking about.
Yeah. Also niggas. Yeah, niggas and on the block.
On the block, because
they're going to meet their ops, and then once they've dealt with the ops, right? You know, they get the sell the drugs.
Onto their women,
get
on their women.
Your pay say, look, I got you this chain, but that chain is blood, man. Blood money, man.
Birkin and all that. Take it to fancy restaurant, blood money. You just spend selling mad drugs or stolen money, robbery, and it's all fucked. But you bring the spoils to your woman to show it off.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, you sell the drugs, get the car, you're paid. Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
It's they're like your babes. So hey. Okay.
That's true, man. Bro, you see how the scriptures is very true to life.
Yeah.
Everything's in the scriptures, man. People are looking at what's the meaning of life and searching for this.
The answer's there already.
It's all in the scriptures, man. These niggas are just ignorant as fuck. It's like you're just walking with blindfolds and you don't know you got a blindfold on. You're just walking around aimlessly. The truth is right in front of your eyes. You just don't want to deal with it because you're ignorant. Yeah, and the nigga that I did a video the other day, he's talking about if you give me a couple of years, I'll write my own Bible. Some little nigga with dreads. And he's talking about because that book was written by the white man. The Bible was written by I think it was Dallas. Yeshua on his site, 2 and 3. That page. And he put on a clip of Jake. Basically, was saying the mentality of Jake, into like the intelligence of Jake.
Yeah.
They always want to go into that pseudo shit.
Yeah.
Try and prove like they're very smart. But all the truth that you need is in the scripture.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to go with the scripture say.
None shall want her mate. You use the scripture, you can't make these scriptures anything else. It's the truth.
The highest form of intelligence is in this book. The wisest king of any man on this planet was written in this book. He was of this nation, and he was written of in this book. His name was King Solomon, man. Yep. He was the wisest king ever. Wiser than any king you can name, man. Any philosopher on this earth you've ever seen or heard of.
Yep.
That guy was the wisest king ever. Yep. His name was King Solomon, man. He's written off in the books. What do you want to know about that? How smart? If you wanted to gain some intelligence on that level, wouldn't you want to read the book that he came out of? Right?
Yep.
That's where the wisdom and understanding came from. It didn't come from no Quran. It didn't come from no Book of the Dead. Niggas all up in that Egyptology trying to read hieroglyphs. That shit ain't making you smarter, man.
Yeah. It's keeping you asleep.
That's keeping you asleep, man.
But it's the thing as it says in Ezekiel 33:33, right? He says, when these things shall come to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. Because
exactly.
Because we can have these arguments, which you know, the spirit that's been on the post on down for the last couple of years now. You know, just to be fair, it was teaching before them. Right, so if a nigga can't get, man, we're moving on.
Fuck all that debate and shit. Yeah, here to debate.
Yeah, debate, man.
Right. Don't believe, man. Romans 3:3 in your ass, man.
So what if some don't not believe?
Prophecy's still coming to pass, man. We're still gonna tank this place.
Yeah, and then we're seeing it, and that's the thing. A guy like that you're mentioning, 2 Corinthians 4:3, for gospel be hidden is hid them that are lost.
Exactly.
Right? Because we can't, not we can't do anything. But the Lord don't want everyone, man.
Don't want everyone. We don't have to force it out.
Yeah.
The Lord ain't gonna wake up. The Lord don't want to wake you up. He's not gonna wake you up. It's not by our hand. Yeah. We're just passing on the message.
Yeah. You're gonna be true, man. You
don't have to imagine.
Yeah. Don't have to imagine. That's it, man. And it's real talk, because at the end of the day, man, you know, if you can't get it, you can't get it.
As I said, the smart is smart. You want to gain the highest form of wisdom and understanding from the scriptures.
Yeah.
When King Solomon was on the scene, you know, Queen Sheba, she wanted to find out how intelligent and smart this man was.
Yeah.
She traveled a whole continent just to go and find this man, right? That shows you how, you know, important the wisdom and understanding that King Solomon had. And he didn't get it from any other philosophy, man. He got it from the Heavenly Father Yahweh, which is maintained in the scriptures. So what you niggas searching for that you niggas can't find? You niggas like, I need to search this philosophy and that philosophy. Well, when you got the greatest philosophy right in front of your fucking face, man, and you think that the white man bricked bad, it's crazy, man. You think the white man, King James was the white, you niggas are dumb. King James was not a white, he was a so-called dark-skinned man, the man of melanin, man. His father, when you see pictures of his father, he was a straight-up Jake. His mother, Queen Elizabeth, she was a Jake.
Yeah. The real Queen Elizabeth.
The real Queen Elizabeth. The first, she was a so-called black.
The first and only.
She was a so-called black. Even Mary Queen of Scots. I seen an Asian picture of her. She was a straight-up nigga woman, man. You can see the picture of Queen Mary Queen of Scots in the Dark Ages. She was a straight-up nigga woman. You can see it. Queen Elizabeth was her cousin. They were straight nigga. You know, Queen Lizzie II, some fake royal, man. Yeah. They ain't got nothing to do with that. Yeah, man. They ain't no same like King James. Even King James was related to Queen Elizabeth II.
You know, it's the same thing with Charles as well.
Charles as well, yeah.
He's chosen Charles III, but King Charles related to son of King James, man. Yeah. Right, I think King Charles I, the son of King James, and the second. If you look at
grandfather, King James II, he was called Black Boy.
Mm-hmm.
He called him Black Boy for called him Black Boy for why? Because he was a so-called dark-skinned man.
Yeah. So I was saying, because you would have had Jake that were dark-skinned, but you know Jake creates them
personas.
Them personas even to this day. You know, you might believe that's Blackie because he's darker than everyone else.
Nicknames. Pen names, nicknames, you know, personas and that's Jake, man. You still don't really have that, man.
He ain't flavorful like us, man.
No flavor, man. So these devils, man. Can't wait for the Lord to come back and torch these devils, man.
Sir.
Devils need to be put in chains, man. Shit's been going on for too fucking long. The lie has been going on for too fucking long. You devils are not benevolent. You're not no royals, man. There's nothing regal about you.
Yeah.
There's nothing royal about you devils, man. You're just a bunch of liars, man. And you serpents, you steal everything you own. There's nothing honorable about this. There's actually nothing honorable about you either, man.
Yeah,
you go around stealing everything, man. Lying on man's history, lying on your own history.
Yeah.
There's nothing honorable about you. You're just a bunch of liars, man. Like what is? There's nothing good about it. That's why the scripture says none that do it good.
Yeah. You got that saying, also no honor amongst them. Huh?
There's nothing honorable about you devils at all. Like, life throughout history, you're running away from your own identity. You're going around stealing other people's identity, other people's resources. You're occupying other people in their own fucking land, calling them immigrants in their own land. Like, what the fuck, man? You're just the most treacherous being on the face of the earth. That's why all the nations, Isaiah 14, they're going to say, is this the man? This piece of shit, man, had me in captivity.
Yeah.
This habitual liar. That's why we're going to have fun fucking you devils up.
Yep. This is John 10:10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy.
And that's all you've done throughout history. Check your whole life, going back to the Roman Empire, whatever empire you want to go to, man. You do the same shit. You do the same thing all over. Back then in the Greek Empire, you tried to start a new world order. That shit came to naught. Now you're doing it all over again.
Yep.
Nothing new under the sun, man. But this time you're gonna lose it again, and you ain't coming back into power. There ain't gonna be no Rome 3.0, none of that. You devils are going down, you're gonna stay down, man. You're going into slavery. She was chuckling, laughing, but she knows she's free, man. The Spirit has made her laugh, but she knows she's free. You Edomites are going into slavery. Now you can stop it. And how a shout comes to the end of you, man. Your lights are going out forever. We're gonna root you up. Everything you've done is gonna be destroyed within 1 hour, man. Man, that's right. Let's close up.
Yeah. I'll just finish this. So the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundant.
So the Lord's coming, man. Advent of the Lord, second coming. We're at that time, brothers, man. So we got to stay strong, keep enduring, man. Keep a good fight of faith, fighting a good fight of faith and enduring to the end. And the Lord's going to be with his elect, man. The Lord said he's not going to forsake his own. He said he will be with us until the end of the world. We're at the end of the world right now.
Yeah.
Esau's done, man. Let him do what he's doing, man. He can build as many super soldiers and all of that Terminator shit as he wants, man. It's all going to come to naught. Martial law, all of that. All he's doing is fulfilling prophecy, man. Once it's all said and done, we're going to have this devil where we want him, man. In chains, man. That's right, man. So keep fighting the good fight of faith. Give all praises and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of the Lord, man. Shalom to the hopeful elect, man. Stay strong.
Shalom.
And a bud baba.
A bud baba. A bud of the worm.